It's about Christmas. It's about family. It's about truth. It's about lies. It's about God. It's about Satan. It's about nothing. It's about everything. It's about art. It's about matriarchy, patriarchy. It's about
mommy, daddy.
But what's it really about?
That way, when we say,
And that's our song! Thank you, Steven. Woo! We're back, baby. How are we doing?
That was pretty good, man.
I wanted to give
I asked for energy. I got energy, and I'm feeling good.
Feeling fired up.
All right.
Yeah.
We got Fanny, Alexander, 1982. Bergman's quote-unquote final film. Of course, not his final film, but it was going to be his final film. Classically bankrupted the country, the production. And this is good. This is our welcome to our 2021 Christmas asterisk special.
Final day of December.
End of year special.
It is the end of year
Wait, is this
special.
last day?
No, tomorrow is.
Second to last
No, it's
day.
not. Shit.
It's New Year's Eve.
It's only the 6th day of Christmas, so
Yeah.
6th day of Christmas special. We're talking about this 5.5 hour behemoth. We watched the whole version. We're completists.
Yeah.
Just kidding. We're doing all the Harry Potter movies.
Just
Just
kidding.
kidding about the whole Fanny and Alexander thing. As a Christmas special, we are doing Harry Potter, ABC's.
That
could've been fun.
That's not even too bad of an analogy, given Harry Potter 1 has pretty
The
good
length.
Christmas vibes, and then 2, 3, 4,
Yeah.
5, 6, or whatever don't exactly revolve around Christmas. But
yeah.
we just needed an excuse. So anyway, we're here and we made it. We got returning guest, Jacob.
Is that like you to start talking?
Yeah, what do you got?
Drinking a Modelo.
Drinking a
All
Modelo.
right, I'm
good.
actually drinking to all the listeners. I'm drinking a Four Loko, and it's
Four Loko Gold.
It's 7 a.m.
Yeah.
No, but Fanny, Alexander, a lot of Alexander, not too much Fanny. Really makes you think.
Really makes you think.
True. True.
lots of feminist messages, in this work. I'm feeling episode 1 very Christmassy, very fun. Then it gets serious. Then it's time for the kids to leave the room, okay?
We're like leave the house.
And it's time to have some serious conversations. But all jokes aside, it was a long one, and can't wait to start talking about this.
John turned 21.
And
Okay.
I guess do I hand this over to Brody now?
Is it my
I think
go?
Brody has a bit.
Yeah.
or
I don't know.
something.
Usually this isn't the.
We're
this
going
isn't
bottom
the
to
road.
top.
Brody,
We're
before
going bottom to top
before-
minus Troy.
Before we started
Minus
recording,
Troy.
We're
Troy
reversing
would
the
be like-
binary.
before we started
This is
recording,
awesome.
Brody said he had something really funny he was gonna do.
No. I did not have something to say other than that. I got discouraged from my funny bit. Anyway, I'm really excited to talk about this film. This was a lot of fun. It was fucking awesome, and it was extremely beautiful, and made me believe in God, even though I did already.
Woo!
Yeah. Thank you, everybody. Now passing the torch to Steven.
The torch.
Yeah. Well, it's
The
like
unlit
the Olympics.
torch, and I will light it
What?
with my atheism.
Okay. Fire.
Just kidding. I thought the movie was awesome. I actually thought the first episode was the least awesome, and the rest were way doper and based. The
Yeah.
first one gave me La Dolce Vita vibes, in the sense that it was like draining. I got really like drained by it. But overall, I thought the whole thing was beautiful and great.
All right.
That's it.
That's it. Okay. So, yeah, this movie is so good. So awesome to watch 5 full hours of Bergman doing his thing, and I think this may be my favorite Bergman.
Oh.
And I think that it's also Troy's making faces at me, even though he agrees that it's my favorite Bergman.
Okay.
But yeah, this might be my favorite Bergman. I think that it is, and for like particular reasons, I think it's very appropriate as being his attempt at making a final film. But yeah, it makes a lot of sense as like a conclusion in many respects to a lot of the themes and ideas, and we can talk about that run through his work. But
Do you think,
yeah, I loved it.
Do you think Tarantino's final film is gonna be this good?
He's gonna make Star Trek, right?
Yeah. Is he really for his final film?
No, I don't know. That
Oh.
was like rumored that he was gonna make a
Dude,
Star Trek remake.
That's sick.
Your Honor,
an
objection.
ultra violent, finally an ultra violent Star Trek.
I mean, we've
always
been needing
wanted.
we've been needing that.
We've been needing that. We needed
Yeah.
this.
Okay.
The real question is, how is Tarantino going to fit the N-word in space?
Okay, it's my turn. Guys, please, let me just say. Listen, is it Bergman's best? No. Does John think it is? Predictably, yes. Predictably.
What's his best,
What's his best?
in your opinion?
Oh, I don't know. There's quite a few that are much better. But
Okay.
is it fantastic? Yes. Episode 1, obviously. Is it the best episode?
best.
Who's to say? Is it super fucking awesome? Peak cozy Kino family vibes? Of course.
Not really.
So yes.
Because Carl's
No,
situation
dude,
is so
I know.
fucking tragic
So what?
and
But
sad.
dude, Carl.
That's not
But
cozy.
that's
Carl
but
is
that's
one of
family
the best.
That's
situation.
not
Carl
cozy.
does
That's
not
Christmas
bring
family.
classic
down-
Christmas.
It's Christmas family.
Yeah.
Carl does
Not my
bring
family.
down
Oh
the
yeah,
whole
Steven's
family.
family is perfect. We all know.
Steven's just like, where's the child's
Yeah,
sex?
Steven's
I need-
never had a family member
What
overdose
the
at
hell?
Christmas
What
dinner.
are these allegations here? Look, I said it was an awesome series, and I'll even say the first episode was overall good, but of the 4 episodes, not the best.
Listen,
What are you even talking
listen,
about, dude?
Christmas episode.
2 and 3 clearly filler.
The final episode, obviously,
Super fucking boring.
The final episode is so based,
Okay.
and it makes you cry. It's so good, dude. When they're coming together as a based family,
Yeah.
and is it Isaac? Isaac comes in and saves the day. It's all so based.
Isak. Okay.
Oh my god.
Okay, the final episode is probably the best, but the first episode is also probably the best. Anyway, I love this.
Okay.
Maybe, Bergman's been attacked by the liberal media for trying to accomplish too much in one film. But I think he touches enough points, but he doesn't overdo it. And thank God for all the monologues we get. Episode 1, we've got the father's monologue to the theater. We get Isak's storytelling in the final episode. Oh, so good. We get the speech. Anyway, I'm a big fan. And I just want to defend episode 1 a little bit.
Well, I think
Let's-
I love it. I think here's the thing. We're talking about what's the best episode? Why are we comparing? It's one movie.
So true.
guys.
One
yeah.
movie. Under
And
God.
in the
Oh,
first
their
episode,
episodes.
Indivisible.
in the first act,
Yeah, first act.
is critical to
Me being happy.
the rest of the film. It is very important to spend this Christmas party, to be invited to the table with this family, at the Christmas party.
I probably could have achieved the same thing without that whole episode.
Oh my God.
This is like the inverse. If this is a bit, that's fine, but this is like the inverse of my instincts with respect to this series. Anyway, Let's just go chronologically. Can we start with episode 1? Just kind of talk through it, maybe.
Yes, we
for
can.
A few minutes.
The first time I saw that opening shot, I cried. Not even kidding. Beautiful.
I can't wait. What was the opening
The
shot?
opening
again?
shot is of cold blue water flowing very smoothly over a man-made, structure,
Dude,
and it's just fantastic.
It's funny.
Okay.
They used that same thing in Dr. Manslave to like announce the acts of the movie. It's like running water. That's all I can think about when those shots were happening.
So it's Christmas time.
But
we start off right. We have like what is the first thing we see? Is it the play? No.
Yes,
or is
yes.
it-
Yes.
Is it or is it Fanny?
Well,
Is it
yes.
The
Alexander?
very first thing we see is Alexander under the table.
Yeah.
Oh,
he's
yeah,
playing,
yeah.
He's
The
playing with
the little
his
prologue thing.
stage, and then
Yeah.
he sees
the house is, like,
supernatural
empty.
activity.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Schizo's out.
That's huge. That's something that's super interesting. Is the and something that I found interesting, is that like in other Bergman films there is still like subjective views and stuff, of like characters, but this time it's like very specific. It's usually in like almost like the same way like David Lynch has it or whatever, where it's like psychological projections would be like a way to explain it, and it's more about the whole film itself, and it's more of a structural thing rather than like a personal character thing. But in this whole thing, we see stuff from the very beginning. We get introduced to Alexander and his particular like subjective view of things or whatever, and seeing these ghosts and whatnot.
I am on board with so I won't disagree with the subjective thing, but I think the Bergman touch to this is that like as shows like throughout the rest of the movie, and like it's Bergman's philosophy, it seems, that he's not just asserting that Alexander's seeing this, he's saying it's really there, like in a
sure.
metaphysical way, right? Like in an objective metaphysical way, like some sort of like with for instance, the magic, the spell at the end, that lets them get away. He like there's a claim about the existence of it, beyond just like the subjective, like
No, I'm
that's
totally
there,
I'm down with that, but I mostly, but the way that it is presented as Alexander's view, I think
Right.
is still substantially different than the way something like that would be, or like magic or that sort of thing in other Bergman films is presented differently, and it's presented as less of like a hard line between Alexander and the world, or like a character in the world, and more just like the world itself in other films.
Also unique in that it's the first time we see anything like this from Bergman, both like seeing a character's like perception as opposed to like you get like general psychologizing and stuff, but also this is like the first time there's any like magic in any Bergman film.
Speaking of magic, that the actual play in the first act, of the nativity scene, that was pretty kino.
Yeah, I cried.
And the what's the main actress's name?
The character is Emily.
Emily.
Okay, sure.
But it's
I was
Ella Froling is her real
Okay.
name.
Emily.
Okay, I'll just say Emily, but though, I knew that it was Emily, but that was a general
Okay,
question.
sorry.
But yeah, she looked pretty good in like that angel costume.
Did she looked fire the whole film.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, okay. I have a very contentious opinion about the appearance of this person.
Let's go.
Okay.
Because I know that
you should keep
some-
it to yourself.
Yeah.
You should
This is
keep
what
it
it's
to
really
yourself.
about.
it's literally just eyes, big eyes with like
And
the coloration.
Kino?
and
That's
Yeah.
it. Like
your point.
Yeah.
That's it. It's just big. She just has big eyes, and that's it.
But I love seeing the transition from destitute Emily back and then to the end where she's back to being fruitful.
Yeah, so awesome.
And base blackface and yellowface in the play.
Yes.
Yeah, we had some of that.
Yeah.
I like the introduction of all the characters, you know? Like Gustav is like so fucking based.
Dude,
like he's
so
just like this
awesome.
jolly guy.
Yeah, we
You know,
first
he's
see him
always, like, singing and laughing.
We first see him giving instructions to the help as they prepare for a dinner for all the
Hold on.
holding to what?
Hold on. We're getting away from the first actual introduction, which is seeing them all in the audience before the play starts. And then you have more formal introductions where you see them doing stuff. But
Yeah, Hanukkah obviously ripped off Bergman.
that was what I immediately thought of him more, yeah.
Film an audience. Oh my gosh, this is just like Hanukkah.
That, but unironically though.
What, you know, it's okay. Well, I just want to get endlessly sidetracked with tons of just, you know, inane comments. But you know, first act pretty good. I like the also, you know, just general vibes were up. Something else that stuck out to me, just like aesthetically and emotionally, was the chair story at the very end of the first act.
Oh, so good.
Literally probably
that
one of
was
the best
awesome.
parts of the entire thing. Like,
Yeah, it was really good.
Was it Fanny that was like,
Don't do that!
yeah,
she was like, stop!
yeah.
Awesome.
So good.
So good. Okay, yeah. Oh, so good. I love... Okay, but we skipped over... Okay, there's so much to talk about. Obviously, we'll never get anywhere. But do you guys like the theater speech that
Oh, it's amazing.
Daddy gives?
Yeah.
It's so good. I love it.
Yeah.
But was it true?
I love it.
What's his name?
Oscar.
Oscar.
Yeah.
Oscar.
Well, it's funny in the so during the speech. Well, obviously there's this theme of like long drawn out speeches.
Yeah.
In like the
So awesome.
from the Ekdals where they're like not, they're constantly like self doubting and stuff.
Mm.
But Carl, so you know his brother.
Yeah.
Is like his back is turned to him the entire time in
Yeah.
that scene. I don't know if that was like,
I didn't notice that.
you know, I don't know if that was intentional
Oh, for
or if
sure.
it was showing some like division in the family or something.
Was
Or like
he-
jealousy.
No, I
was
think he
was he
just-
also late? He was late to it, right? He was like super
No,
hammered.
He was late
this
to
is-
the party, but at the play when
Didn't his wife bring him over there
No,
too? Because he
no.
was like
Yeah.
just playing cards.
No. So the
I know the Christmas part you're referring
The cards
to, where he
is
gets
after
late
the
to the
play.
Christmas thing. Cards is after the play speech.
yes.
Oh, okay.
So I think the idea is that he's like hanging out with the cast and crew or something. I don't really know.
well,
Oh, okay.
Cards was before the play speech, but because
Oh.
then when Gustav was bringing down the fire, that's when you see them playing
Yeah.
cards, and then she brings them down,
Yes.
and after that the speech happens, right?
Yes.
No, I'm just saying the cards takes
yeah.
place between the playhouse and the Ekdal house because he's late to the Ekdal house.
Yeah.
But he's on time to the
No,
play.
yeah.
Yeah.
It might have been
It's
so
always-
okay. Then it might have been some other background character.
No,
but
no.
No,
It's, I'm
he
looking
is-
at the frame right now,
yeah,
and it's
he
Carl.
is-
And Carl has his back
Yeah.
turned, and he's the only person not
Okay.
Yeah.
facing Oscar. as he's
Carl.
doing the
Yeah, I
speech.
think Carl is just not art pilled. And
Dude, by
this
the way,
explains all
a
his
part that we
problems.
He's science
forgot.
pilled.
Yeah, he's
Dude, fucking, we missed the part in the intro where Alexander sees death with the sight.
yeah, it's based.
No, we
don't
kind of
talk
talked about
it.
that.
Oh, we did.
John
Obliquely
touched on that.
referenced it.
My bad, John. I've totally forgot that even existed.
Yeah, he sees death, but before he
Yeah.
sees death, he
Putting-
sees some rockin',
mask.
some rockin' titties.
Dude,
Yeah,
that,
no, it's-
I thought that was the craziest, like that. I was not ever expecting to see that in a Bergman film. Like the statues start moving, like that was that. Like I was
Yeah,
shocked
I
by
was
that. It was
feeling
pretty
so
crazy.
sick.
Child
But-
imagination.
Yeah,
I'm
it's
just
pretty
self-insert.
rewatching the intro now.
Skipping to the end. How crazy is it? Like the Japanese demons that
Skipping
like
to the
they're
end.
real people. Like I was so scared.
Wait, when?
There are real people wearing like the Japanese demon costumes
Oh, yeah,
in the Jewish
Oh,
labyrinth. And I was like thinking the entire time that one was gonna like reach out.
Yeah,
and,
that
like,
place
grab
was
him. Yeah.
that place was scary.
so
Like,
the
sick.
Jewish-
dude.
That would be so scary to have to go pee at night. Oh
Go
my
pee.
god.
What an
Yeah.
insane like just space like
Yeah.
to be in for that. I don't know, is so terrifying, and like the kind of comfort as well as the like
Right.
danger of the family, you know, the Jewish family.
Yeah.
Okay, but I want
Hold on.
we-
While we're on, was it actually God behind the door? Yes.
Yes.
Okay, wait. I wanna go back to the speech because we were talking about the speech.
Yeah, a world inside
So-
a world inside a world.
Yeah, the whole. I think that like it seems that the speech kind of encompasses a ton of what is talked about the film, and then is bookended by the speech that what's his name gives.
Isak.
What's the brother's name?
Oh no,
Gustav
Isak?
at the end.
I think
No.
it's more
Gustav at the
complimented
end.
by Isak, but
You're
you're
talking-
talking about Gustav.
By what?
I'm saying I think it's more mostly complimented by Isak's story, but you're talking about Gustav. at
Which
the
one's
end.
Isak's story?
Jewish
Oh,
magician?
yes. No. I mean, it's all.
Dark
it's all.
Templar.
I mean, I like I'm saying that this thing that is complemented by these other like kind of monologue soliloquy things are like all part of this kind of. I see that as being kind of one of the main things that he wants to talk about, which is like
Art.
the little world, and that little world being the theater, film, art, the family, etc., etc. And I was gonna say something else about that.
Yeah, all this family talk's pretty rich coming from a guy who had none. Throwing it out there. Also,
Did he really
if
not?
it's not generally known, huh? I'm saying Bergman.
I didn't,
Berg-
yeah, I didn't know
Bergman,
that.
yeah.
Bergman has like 4 different families, i.e., like kids with a lot of different women, and abandoned all of them. But later in
That's
life,
sick.
there was a bit of a reunion there. Also, in case it's not clear, Fanny is a Bergman self-insert. I mean, not Fanny. Alexander is a Bergman self-insert where he had this like Lutheran father who was extremely abusive and stringent and stuff like this.
And okay, what's interesting about thinking about Alexander as being a self-insert, his father, Oscar, is like the father that he wish he had or something, and the fact that he dies and then is still like present as like spirit or whatever in his life when he's got the bad churchman father, that it's like it's some kind of like, I don't know, the father that he wish he had, and like some kind of, I don't know, Troy said before, like the Bergman left his children so that he could be my dad or something like that. But but I think there's actually like some truth to that in like some kind of he's kind of like the like abstracted, like some kind of meta father or something like that, like the artist.
Yeah, well, God the Father, i.e., art,
I.e. Bergman.
and then the fake
That is
the fake father.
I was really
out.
hoping that the end would have some crazy fuck up from Alexander, aka Bergman. Like I was really hoping that he would be the one to fuck up super hard and cause people's deaths,
He did.
but he didn't.
What?
Just to complete the Hamlet
he did.
cycle.
What? He
He-
causes the
he-
death of the Lutheran guy, of the priest.
He doesn't really
He-
He doesn't not
Yeah,
really.
he's
What are you
he's
talking
pretty
about?
clearly
He-
responsible.
he partners with the devil himself
Yeah.
to kill his stepfather.
Yeah.
No, yeah, but it's not through like a mix up on his end. It's not like it seems like really based and true the way he commits it, as opposed to the Hamlet would be like
What are you
really
talking about?
fucking
Yeah.
confused.
What are you talking about? Going in league with the devil?
Yeah,
That is
going
not
in league,
No, he's
based-
going
saying
in
it's
league
not-
with art and beauty and mysticism to kill the evil father and supplant him
Yep.
as the
No,
new
dude.
father.
No, Stephen's saying it's not an
Look-
accident. Whereas if Hamlet were doing it, if
Right.
it was more Hamletian,
It would be more accidental.
Yeah, confused and.
Yeah, yeah,
Yeah, I actually liked all the Hamlet stuff because it doesn't like I think it's presented as something silly, like
Yeah,
the mind of a
it
little
becomes-
boy
right.
wants to fancy himself Hamlet, and all the adults
And
are
she-
like,
and the
"Don't be
mom-
Hamlet. Like that's not
Yeah.
what this is. Don't be cringe. Like you're not
Yeah,
Hamlet.
and Emily-
Relax."
and the mom walks up and says, "I am not Gertrude.
Yeah.
This is not a terrible place," and it's an awful place
Yeah.
for him. Classic adult being completely wrong.
Yeah, I like the part when Alexander like starts giving the speech or whatever, he like picks up where his dad left off over there in the theater, and then his mom comes in and is like, stop, and then like grabs him or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Yeah, that part was really good.
So, is art just a sphere inside the greater sphere of world, and sometimes reflects it and also contains it?
Of course.
Okay.
Of course. That's not,
Art
dude, we're not here to
defined.
talk about the obvious here.
Classic Bergman just saying the obvious.
Yeah.
Cool. And then dressing it up. Oh wow. Look,
Well,
dude,
yeah.
we know art is based, okay? This
Hey, I'll tell-
podcast
I'll
knows.
tell you what. Episode 1 contained definitely one of my favorite, maybe even one of my favorite scenes of all time. Sort of speeches of all time, which was the chair bit.
Yeah, the chair
Yeah,
bit
chair
is
bit.
seriously
Oh my God.
so incredible. Like the
Dude,
way
the
it
return to the
convinces
chair.
you.
Dude, it is
Yeah.
so fucking awesome.
My mic
I was thinking about that for like 3 days afterwards. I was like, holy shit, that is so based. I love the fact that it also is like about like art and the story and its utility, which of course we all know is super based and true. But it also talks about like it also has like Christmas wrapped up in it, because I saw episode 1 before Christmas, you know? So I was thinking about Christmas and I was like, dude, this is so true. Like the story of Christmas and also the ritualization of Christmas is all like what gives it gives it meaning and like value. And then it's like everything else outside of that is like, I don't know, like it's in somewhat fake, but like also the most true.
When
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah. I think I was just
Cringe Brody thinks it's about Christmas when it's actually about this chair that is thousands of years old and has such a rich history. Who knew?
Oh, I was gonna what we were saying earlier about Bergman's kind of asserting of like the kind of reality of like Alexander's subjectivity or something like that, and like the magic elements and this stuff, and like I love that I don't know, it's like the movie's like anti debunking, you know, like it's like
Mhm.
anti, it's like like the chair scene I think is really strong argument for like the fact that like I don't know, it's like Fanny's not a stupid kid, and it like the story
Well.
matters, you know, like it matters, and it's not like, I don't know, it's which I mean, I don't know, we keep talking about like, oh, it makes you believe in God or whatever, but I see that as being kind of one of the central points of something like that, whereas like it's not like, just kidding, it's just a chair, which is like kind of what I mean, kind of. Well, okay, this is one of the, like I said earlier, that this like makes sense as being a progression in Bergman's kind of themes and such. And I think he does do this earlier, but there's lots more films, like Persona in particular, where it's like show you this thing and then pull the rug out from under you, and then show you this thing and then pull the rug out from under you, with nothing left after you do that besides like the thing itself. And then it's kind of like the belief in the film is built on your end and never asserted by the film itself or something like that.
So true.
And then, but then in this film, it's all about it's no longer about like can I get you believe in this and then pull the rug out from under you? It's like, I'm going to make you believe in it, and then we're going to pull the rug out or whatever and show you that it still stands or something like that. And I think in that way, it's like, I don't know, it's come to like a more complete point than just the like, I'm going to show you something fake and show you that it's fake, you know, and
Mhm.
but like it's going to be powerful or something like that. It's like a stronger assertion that it's like it's fabricated, but it's true in a more real sense or something like that.
Yes, extremely true.
I think this is true with the chair, and it's not compromising too, because yeah, it is just a chair, right? And it's about what's built upon the chair, you know, the story and whatnot.
Yeah.
But I think it becomes muddied by the actual Jewish Dark Templar magic. Although I think that like that, which I think is awesome. Like I like that we're getting a world of legitimate magic, and it's like really fun in Christmas. but I think it kind of might go against your point a little bit. But also, I just want to point out, I think there's like a mirror between the mummy and the chair, where the chair is something that's just a chair, and then there's heavy discussion of the way it sits in the light and the way it glows. And it totally does, like on camera, but it doesn't glow, right? It's more just like the magic of lighting in general, right? And there's all this discussion of lighting and the way the light, emanates from the chair and stuff like this. But then later you have the mummy, which is a purportedly legitimate magic object, and they talk about the way when the moonlight hits it, it literally glows, right? I don't know. I'm not exactly sure what the point to be made is, but I think there's some type of thing to be talked about there. And it's also not clear. I feel like everything in the movie is debatably not actually magic, except for the act of actual magic, which is, just the acute moment of the kids teleporting around.
Well,
or being in two places at once or whatever.
I don't think that he can. I don't think that it necessarily has to be one way or the other way. I don't even know what the point would be necessarily with what you're saying about later, how it might contradict it. Like, I think that you could have the contradiction, and that's because like the film itself is still like a film, like it's still like the I don't know. It's not like he sets up like the real world or something and then does the chair in the rules of the real world. He tells the story of the real world and then later violates that with real magic. It's like the film is still, I don't know. I feel that at a certain point, the film definitely, especially within like each act, like the kind of rules, quote unquote, of the world, like shift or develop or change and become more and more magical or something like that. But like, yeah, I don't think it necessarily has to be like one way or the other, or that the contradiction is necessarily like I don't know. I think he can do both things or something like that.
I think the Jews live in a different world with a different mythos and thus have different abilities. Unironically, within the context of this film, like, there's obviously an insane contrast between the two groups. Yeah, and I also want to point out, I think, Isaac's story is, I think, like in perfect contrast to Oscar's speech at the Playhouse, because both are about what is art and what is the value of it. And I think it's interesting that Oscar tells like a very, comparatively a very plain speech where everything is explicit and says art is, this and that and what the Playhouse, And then Isaac tells this like very mystical allegory, story, parable, or whatever, which debatably hits way harder for me. I love the Isaac story; it's so good.
Dude, I really thought Isaac was going to die when he cast that spell. I thought he was like having a heart pain because he's like so old and he's like working so hard to like save these kids.
Yeah.
I thought it was gonna be like his dying breath, you know. But nah, he's pissed chilling. He's good.
Yeah, that was only one of his 9 lives.
Yeah.
Is it grand theory time? Is it
whatever you want.
Away?
It's whatever you want.
Is it
Is it
away from meta analysis?
It's free association.
What is
free,
art?
It's
Blah,
free
blah, blah, blah,
association
blah.
time.
It's free association.
Here,
Drop a
so-
nuke, Jacob. Drop a nuke.
Yeah,
Drop a
drop a
nuke.
nuke.
No, but
I hate this guy.
this is more of a kind of observation.
For the viewers at home, Jacob just what would you call that? Tapped a deck of papers like a newsman.
So
Yeah.
funny. It was really
and
good.
it was really funny, and we all really liked it. It was a really good idea.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So true. But so obviously, episodes 2, 3, 4, in terms of just like the base level plot is that, preacher man is bad father holding Emily, Fanny, Alexander hostage. He's abusive. He's all that sort of stuff. But then, that's contrasted with like the like freedom of the Ekdal family,
Yeah.
where it's supposed to be like a more liberating place to live. They have all these colorful rooms and nice outfits and good food, and everyone's like,
Very worldly.
Gustav is like jolly and stuff.
Yeah.
But actually, the Ekdals are just as oppressive and just as repressed as the super religious household. And that's like shown perfectly well with like by the way, side note, dude, the Myosi had me acting so strange in episode 1.
What?
That the maid, the red-haired maid.
Maya. Yeah. Or no, Madge.
No,
Madge.
It's
Her name's
it's
Madge.
Maya.
Madge?
It's my dude. And when the boobies were coming out, I was like, oh my god, Bergman, you did not have
Dude.
to do this for me. Thank you.
Oysters after oyster.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
I was like,
gross.
thank you so much, Bergman.
Oh my gosh.
But anyway, getting back on track, like Mai is like super repressed and controlled by Gustav. She's having his kid. He's like very controlling of her like life path, but he explains it away with he's just trying to like care for her, and like
Right.
she's the one that agreed to it, but he's in control, just as what's the preacher's name?
Yeah,
I'm
we
totally
need to think of
blanking
his
right
name.
Preacher's name is
now. The cardinal bishop.
Is it Adolf? Unironically.
No.
I-
Gustav Adolf is the happy
Gustav
jolly.
Adolf, right? You're right.
His
Hold on,
name
I'm looking-
what's
is.
his name?
I don't know. You could just call him Bishop.
I'm pulling it up.
I believe
His name
he's
is
a bishop.
Edvard.
Edvard. That's right.
Edward.
So backtracking a sentence or two, Gustav Adolf is just as controlling and all that towards, for instance, Mai, as Edvard is to Emily and Fanny and Alexander, but it's just like dressed up in like a different aesthetic, where like Edvard is like a very like quote unquote principled man who is like cold and calculating and has like strong principles, whereas Gustav is just like this, is phlegmatic the word, like emotional, like just very driven by very passionate man, but those passions are still like funneled into this like controlling pattern of behavior or whatever.
What do they call
This like possessive, controlling behavior. And not to mention the Ekdal family is dysfunctional, and as is the Edvard, his family. But it's just like, it's a false dichotomy. People, can't we wake up?
Absolutely true, Jacob. You're 100% right. I think what mostly, not necessarily about the Gustav analysis, but the general claim I'm 100% with, mostly because I think these scenes early on with the maids who have to set up the Christmas dinner is really funny, and it's like there's like 3 maids where every time they're on screen, it's just they're not having a good time, dude. And it's
Sad.
because they're servants to this like boisterous bourgeois family that has all its dysfunctions, all this like incestuous, like fucking the help and then being a pretty help, and then they've got all these problems. It's not jolly good freedom. There's clearly like an oppressive force built within the family. It's just
And that
obviously a
oppressive
different
force,
aesthetic.
matriarchy. It's the matriarchy versus patriarchy, but you can't escape oppression in
So
either
true.
Okay.
in either case.
Okay.
People.
I think the analysis is somewhat fair, but not the just as bad part. Like, it's obviously preferable to be in the Ekdal house. Yes, they're dysfunctional. Yes, they have problems, and Mai is like oppressed. But like, Edvard is like literally holding them physically captive, with threats of violence and whatnot. Whereas Mai is like emotionally tormented by Gustav's insistence that she get a free cafe. Like,
Well,
listen, I'm on board. My
Don't get
favorite,
it
my
twisted.
favorite.
Don't get it
hold on, I'm not
twisted.
getting it too twisted. I'm just saying clearly. Hold
We
on.
gotta pull these knots
let me
out, boy.
untwist this. Clearly, both. I like it because I think it's like the trifecta of worlds, right? You've got the Jewish world, you've got the priest world, and you've got like the sensualist world, if that's the right.
Let's just say the mystical world and stop dropping the J bomb.
The J bomb,
right?
the mystical,
J-bomb.
the mystical Dark Templar world.
Yeah, the Dark Temple.
This is not.
I think the best thing about it, I think
this is not better.
I just like that. I just want to point out, I like that Edward is not really that bad a guy. Like, he isn't just this like boogeyman. Look, he might be a bad dude, but like I feel so bad for Edward for most of the second half of his story. Like when he's talking to Alexander and Alexander's lying to him, like he legitimately seems so pained, and I like respond to that. Like I feel emotionally connected with him when he is like, oh my gosh, this child is lying about the most important things in life. I need to help him, all these things. Like Edward is not just some evil dude, he's just a guy who's like almost a captive of his own principles. Anyway, I just like that he's not just some evil dude. Like he's a guy trying to, have his own paradigm and blah, blah. Anyway, everyone's got problems, I agree, but they're not just as bad. I mean, Edward is obviously much more oppressive than the Ekdals.
Okay, but here's the thing: is listen,
I'm listening.
I'm not talking in like a literal sense, but just in like a, like conceptual, symbolic, whatever sense. Like, sure, if you were to litigate this, like, literally, Edvard is worse than the Ekdals. But in terms of like, the abstract, like just the concept of like being held down by some like structure, like it's like they're comparable.
They're comparable.
I think the analogy patriarchy versus matriarchy was a very reasonable analogy in the sense that obviously you don't want to be hit by father and you would run to mommy's breast, but now mommy's breast is in itself like its own oppressive force. I thought that was totally right. Like now you're gonna chase mommy boob for the rest of your life because daddy was beating you hard.
But
100%, I'm on board with this.
Whole movie.
I'm on board with
summed up.
Yeah, but I think though that it is important that the Ekdal family is like all of the stuff that we've talked about that's like kind of ultimately positive, with like the chair and then like the speech at the end that Gustav, right, gives. Like this still happens within like the Ekdal family, and that like I think if the film is making a point, if it's preferring one over the other, it might still be the Ekdal family, but it's like not necessarily not condemning or like I think that you can have like those things still be oppressive and bad, but you also still have the potential for the positive outcome.
Yeah, there's a clear preference for the Ekdals in terms of
and also worlds. Isaac allies himself with the Ekdals versus he's hated. He's like, like the guy spits Edward is anti-Semitic straight up.
Yeah, so
whereas
you
the
hook-nosed
Ekdals,
bastard
harbor and hang out with
That's
Isaac, so there's some sort of there's a connection there.
Isaac literally has a prisoner in his house.
True. What, David Bowie?
Yeah.
Which they say nephew, but then it's a woman. Is there something going on there?
Man.
It's clearly.
Well, no, I think it's very
Monday.
obviously a female actor, or so it's like.
What?
There's something.
Hold on,
weird
I'm
going
pulling
on.
it up. I mean,
this
no,
podcast is about to get crazy
If it's a
political.
man, it's an extremely feminine man, like insanely.
The character is referred to by other characters as a male. Clearly an extremely androgynous like embodiment.
Yeah, I mean that's the point, is that they're androgynous. I think that
Ishmael.
Well, the point is that they're the devil.
Ishmael is played by a woman. Ishmael is played by a woman.
There we go, and it's because Ishmael's the devil.
Probably true.
Anyway,
but
I don't know. The whole place just harbors people that are kicked out of society. Though, is Isaac keeping her? I forget. It's more
they're prisoners.
I thought that it's just a place for outcasts and stuff, which is like a typical Mythos thing. Where like you know, the gypsies, the queers, and all this like various casts hang out together and like create their own like world, you know?
I don't know.
Like that's a recurring thing.
Well, definitely. I thought. I mean, explicitly related by blood to both the people in the mystic house, the Jewish house. I mean, I don't know. They talk about how she's super dangerous. Talk about how she
didn't the puppeteer. Yeah, but she's dangerous for like. But isn't there like an implication that she's dangerous for society because she's like unacceptable in a certain way? Because she doesn't fit within the paradigm.
Yeah, but she also goes on. She also goes on to psychically kill Edward.
Sorry.
But
then also. Wait, one final thing. Also, didn't the puppeteer get kicked out of wherever he was last performing his thing for doing black magic or something like that? The puppeteer, I think his background story is he's found himself back in this place with Isaac, and he was kicked out of his last place, like ran out of town for black magic, I'm pretty sure.
I don't recall this.
Which is like there's just some sort of like notion about being harmful for the culture. Like it's not, I don't think that they're like literally harmful, although of course she casts the spell, they cast the spell and like it kills the person, but like it I think it's all about, it's this critique of society.
Society.
What was the thing about when Ishmael was like, write your name down on this piece of paper?
Oh yeah.
Alexander, but then is like the name on the paper was Ishmael. Is that some sort of commentary about the, you know, inner evil within us all, or does Alexander just really not know how to spell?
Yeah, I couldn't tell if it was a magic trick. I don't know. I think it probably is something about Ishmael is not, or Ishmael. Yeah, more to the former. Because I don't know. Ishmael is also kind of messing with Alexander, you know, like kind of messing with him, toying with him, and I think like, you know, uses some dark magic to get him to write her name, and then she's like, "Oh look, you know, we're one and the same." She's like, "Oh, I think we're the same person."
The shark had been jumped so much after the Jewish magic teleportation that I fully expected Ishmael to be like a troll or something when they opened up the room.
Yeah.
Like I was like, this is gonna be some like, it's gonna be a gigantic animatronic.
It's gonna be an ogre from Harry Potter, from the first Harry Potter.
It's animated
with the wand up the nose. It's gonna be like the first ogre.
I was prepared for anything.
It's an animated character.
Yeah, it's Dobby.
Like what's it called? Space Jam.
Yeah,
dude. So Carl, he's just like suffering the entire time, but then he gets a stealth redemption.
Yeah, stealth redemption. That's good.
I love Carl.
But I forget the actual what happened during that conversation. I do relate to this whole stealth redemption, but wasn't he? It was a pseudo redemption. There was still some sort of like family conflict coming in that led him to not necessarily make what is the best decision, but really to oppose Gustav and maintain a semblance of like normalcy, when it's like clearly you don't have to just be this guise of like, we're here, we're gonna be respectable men, you know, like it's good cop, bad cop, sure, but clearly like the ideal cop isn't so, I don't know, like I don't know, you don't like argue in front of the person, you don't do things like this. There's clearly like some brotherly resentment going on there, you know?
Yeah, Gustav is a man of passion, and what's his name?
Carl is nothing.
Yeah, Carl is like trying to maintain some kind of professionalism.
Cain and Abel.
Cain and Abel.
Why does success always happen to them?
That interaction is so funny though.
Yeah, the interaction is pretty funny. It was a funny take on the good cop, bad cop idea.
I always love Carl just throughout the movies. Idiot.
Yeah, idiot.
Yeah.
Idiot.
You're disgusting.
He's so sweaty.
What do I do? I hate my wife. Why am I like this? You're fucking filthy. You put your hands on me, you pig. I hate you.
I liked
I called my wife a pig.
She was like, do you actually think about suicide? And he was like, only when I look at you.
Oh my gosh, the scenes are so long, I think it's mainly just
they
the
feel
one
like they feel like they're taking forever.
Yeah, it's so bad, man. And then he has so many chances to just be like,
nice.
Just I don't know, man. He just doesn't take him, man. He just doesn't take him. He just wallows. He just wallows.
She's obviously like codependent with him, right?
Yeah.
Like, cause she
is weak.
they're suffering like compliments each other, like they compliment each other in their like sadness and suffering,
Mm-hmm.
which is like very funny because you hear about stuff like this in real life where like there are people, who are, they're together for life, but like their entire relationship is like the foundation is that they're just like suffering together because of each other or something, and that's like a really funny, very tragicomic dynamic.
Yeah,
Need
it
one
really
of
makes you
those.
think too.
Really makes you think.
It makes you think. It makes you think. It makes you think about society and the way marriage is.
No.
Gosh.
No. Steven, stop.
Is there a successful marriage in this film?
Of course not.
Dude, the one that died,
course not,
fucking
Bergman.
Oscar.
So true.
But then
Dude,
she picks Edward.
Yeah.
What is that?
What is
yeah,
that?
dude,
Come
they're
on. I know she's coping. She's in grief,
Yeah,
but
dude.
like
She's
married an
coping,
ultra
moping,
base
Dude,
man.
speaking-
Coping.
Speaking of grief, when she's screaming
Ah.
and like walking past the door, you know,
Yeah,
dude, that
me after eating
that
hot
scene
chicken.
was so insane. Like,
Eating hot
talk
chicken.
about one of the best like
Yeah,
screams.
spicy chicken.
What about
Have you guys ever seen that in real life?
dude.
No.
When-
Oh, the grief, like visceral grief.
Hey,
I don't
here's
know.
hey man, there's a oh.
Maybe.
No.
When Alexander shakes his father's hand and he fucking dies. He didn't actually die at that moment, but that was insane.
He's
Yeah,
trying to get
that was
Alexander to
so
come. Don't be
crazy.
afraid.
Dude, that was insane. And also, side note, having eternity being your last word before you die is fucking sick. And
What
I
does he
want that to
say?
be my last word now.
Yeah, it can be. That's the
Yeah,
thing.
you can
Dude,
do it
Unless
if
you
you
get like
want.
sniped, unless you just get
Unless
like,
I get
boom,
sniped, dude.
headshot.
But yeah, dude, I'm maybe when I die, I'm gonna say
Sniped it.
eternity and like how come you're not I'll like not speak for like 30 minutes in case I'm like if I'm gonna die right then. Because I
Yeah.
want to make sure
You
that my
should
last
just
word is eternity.
you should just say eternity for the rest of your life over and over
Eternity,
again.
Yeah.
eternity.
Yeah,
eternity.
yeah. as you're
every time I walk
driving-
across it,
as
yeah,
you're
when I
driving,
walk across the
eternity,
street or something,
eternity, eternity.
right? I run red lights.
That's actually really base. Like anytime
Dash
you do
cam.
something risky, anytime
Yeah.
you do something risky, you say eternity.
Dude, the joke's on you when your last word is etert, and then you get T-boned.
yeah.
What did he mean?
I did
What did
dream
you
I was
mean
in a
by
head-on
this?
collision.
Dude,
So
The-
why was Alexander afraid of his dad dying when he'd already stared death in the face?
Well, I think he was pretty afraid of
And
death
sees
when he first saw him.
I think that's why he.
So curious, young boy.
so yeah.
young. The whole process of Oscar falling over and then his like the moving of him
Oh,
to the
wheelbarrow.
house and there's a I have it pulled up here. I'm trying to remember what exactly happens, but there's some kind of like touching of hands, or like he reaches up his hand or somebody reaches and grabs his hand. I don't know, but that whole scene, just like the tension and the build up to Alexander walking in and then them having like that happening, and him dying is so good.
I like that he's a bad actor.
Which one?
Oscar?
Yeah.
What do you mean by bad actor?
Well, he both appears to not be a great actor, but multiple characters comment on the fact that he's not very good. He just kind of yells his lines.
But that's what's interesting
Oh,
though
I
is that
see.
when he does the chair,
Yeah, the
he's
chair's so good.
an amazing actor.
Yeah, he
Like
plays
he's a
that,
perfect
He
actor.
plays that witch impeccably.
Is he supposed to be a witch?
I don't know, just a
He's
haggy old
something.
woman.
He's a hag.
Yeah, an old hag.
Yeah, a stingy hag.
But
All right,
but
shout
yeah,
out to Fanny, cutest thing ever. Am I right?
Thing.
Dude, I think doesn't Fanny dude, it's so sad. I don't know if someone's, if this is trying to say something or whatever, but like most scenes Fanny's in, she's just staring and she doesn't say anything.
Yeah, she's an observer.
Until she says stop.
Yeah,
Yeah, like that. She probably has like 5 lines the entire movie,
yeah, but she's
Yeah.
so cute.
and most of the time she's just watching what Alexander's doing. Like,
Yeah, when she
she
cowers,
does
I
something.
remember-
She defies Edward.
When she
Remember, like
Yeah, well,
Edward
she
goes
defies
to,
him
like,
by like turning and like hiding from.
Yeah,
him,
it's
kinda,
funny.
like,
Like
turning
she
away.
like after he beats up on Fanny or Alexander, he like goes to like touch Fanny, and she goes, something like this, and then Edward goes,
Yeah.
or something like this, like he's gonna knock her ass out.
Yeah.
It's so awesome.
I like the line. I like the line where he's like, "Will you wish me like? Will you say you love me or something?" When he's already beaten Alexander. Edward has beaten Alexander, and Alexander's like upstairs with his mom, I think, and he's wishing them good night. Edward's wishing them good night, and he like he wants, or is it that scene? It might be a different scene, but he wants to get Alexander to say "I love you" or something like that.
He tries to get him to wish him a good night.
Yeah.
Yeah, but then I think there's a follow-up line where basically what's implied is that, like to do that would be a lie, right?
Yeah,
Like, you can't lie and
Alexander
say
says,
that, and, like-
Alexander does not wish Edward a good night, or something.
Right, yeah. Right. I thought that was turbo bass. And then Edward laughs, but it's like, dude,
Well, then he says a base line. Edward
just
laughs.
understand your own flaws, bro.
Edward laughs and he's like,
Your methods are
he says on his
flawed.
face, he says, "Look, we do not need to like." He's like, "Love cannot be commanded, but in this house we can at least respect each other," or something like this.
Yeah.
I also like when Edward admits to Emily that he's afraid of him.
I think my problem is that a lot of his words never really struck me as bass. They just seemed like a like consistent loop, like a
aphorisms,
like just an ideology through and through.
Totally.
Yeah.
Like an ideological form of love. He literally doesn't feel anything. Obviously he does. I mean, he had a wife at some point. It seems like he had something. Who
killed.
knows? But yeah,
He locked up.
but yeah, so I don't know. Like anytime he's saying something quote base, like just the character behind it means that I can't really respect like anything he's saying.
So true.
Yeah.
But the part where he just like takes Emily's chicken broth or whatever the hell she's drinking that has the sleeping pills in it, like it almost as though like to me that I like understood it as he's just like totally dysfunctional, like totally like can't fucking like understand anything, like has no like feelings or any way of communicating with people properly, and the only thing that actually like sustains him to be anything is the law and the ideology.
Well, he says
Because,
as
like-
much.
Go ahead.
He says, like, you talked earlier about how you feel like you're cycling through, like, an infinite number of masks, and you never, like, feel like you have, like, an identity or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
And that's what Emily said. He's like, but I only have one mask, and, like, if I took it off, then,
Yeah.
right.
then everything would be crazy.
I thought,
right.
yeah, I thought that was, I thought that was a really good, like, I don't know, that was, so wait, has everyone seen Persona? Can I talk about Persona?
No.
You cannot talk about
You
I've
Persona.
cannot
seen
talk about Persona.
Do not talk about
do not
Persona.
talk. Well, here's the thing. Isn't the same actress in Persona?
No.
No.
Okay, sorry. Scratch that out. My second point, then I'll give it back to you, John, is that speech by Emily where she's talking about all the masks and stuff, like that. I'm like, this is fake. Like a woman would never say this. She's like talking about like deep psychological thoughts of like,
no.
and like God, it like doesn't have a face, and I'm like, all these masks. I'm like, okay, shut up. Like, no woman has ever thought this deep about
It's over.
This whole thing's gonna be one long
So
bleep.
Jacob is. You have one opportunity to ask if you want that stricken from the record.
Yeah. Do you want right now to disavow,
Guys, just disavow
Harvey Weinstein?
Harvey Weinstein.
Yeah.
Okay, so it's not.
You guys
it's
are
not
just
going
like
back
Carl.
to John because he's not allowed to talk about Persona. I do like when she's talking about the mask.
Was he literally going to talk about Persona?
And Edward is like, he's talking about how he's gonna take off her mask, and that
It's all sexual.
she's
though.
like a big guy, and would it hurt if he removed her mask? And she says, "For you."
yeah.
I thought that was a little on the nose.
yeah. When he said, "I'm the son of the mask."
I just want to say another super fucking based part of the film that I loved, like that was something that was like consistent. Like there was lots of mask talk, but when they were talking about roles and how at each like moment in their lives, what they're
Oh, the
doing is just
grandma.
adopting.
Mhm.
Yeah, like at each moment of their life, they're like adopting like a role and a character, and they're playing it. I love that. It made, I don't know. I feel like a lot of this, the part that I resonated with the most of this film, was the truth and the power of the story, and its like ultimate baseness and its trueness compared to anything that is like quote unquote like, I don't know, other types of realities. There's also the narrative reality, which is the one that we're actually all living in. I thought that was
You
great.
kind of lost me, but I do like all the mask talk. And the grandma does. I mean, it's like kind of, a little tropey, and it's all well trodden ground. It's all Shakespeare, but it's all obviously so true and based. But a lot of the characters' problems, maybe I'm going out on a limb too much, but like seem to revolve around the fact that like they have grown into a certain role, but basically are trying to not play it. Like Carl doesn't want to play the role
I was gonna say Carl
of
is the
husband,
best
right? He wants to
example.
be this kind of like, he wants to continue to be this elite academic that maybe he once was, and like, but whereas Edward commits to his role too much, and then like Gustav basically is like totally roleless. He's just this like sensualist running from, coochie to coochie. Like, I love him and his wife. Oh yeah, they have a happy marriage, even though it's like fraught with infidelity. Yeah.
Yeah.
But she.
Well, that's the mom did too. The grandmother did too.
That's right. It's
implied that the husband, right? Her husband was like.
Yeah, he slept around.
It just shows that human beings aren't supposed to be monogamous. That's all I'm
So
saying,
true,
man.
so based. Bergman pilled.
That's the Bergman self-insert.
Yeah.
It is the Bergman self-insert.
Oh wait,
Bergman-
everyone's the Bergman self-insert.
Just for the
The
record.
movie is a Bergman
the
self-insert.
movie itself is Bergman, but it is worth noting that Bergman was not pro-traditional marriage. His fatal flaw.
Yeah. Scenes from a marriage.
His most finally something based coming
Shut
out of
the
this
hell up,
guy's
John.
mouth. What?
What?
Yo, hell
No.
yeah, fuck you, John.
No,
Fuck
John's
you,
over here
John.
spoiling things.
Oh, I
Oh,
didn't know.
okay, dude.
What?
didn't know
What?
this one.
What?
Okay,
What?
you could say-
What?
Okay,
What?
there's a movie
What?
about marriage, and it shows the problems of marriage. No way.
Can someone else
Crazy
say
dude.
something extremely misogynistic
To
to
back you up?
Yes.
even the things?
Yes, I can.
Women love sex.
Nice.
And obviously, Emily just wanted that good bishop dick, that coveted bishop cock,
Coveted.
and that's the only reason there's any problems in this movie is because of her lecherous advances, just like
Lecherous.
every woman, every single woman. As soon as their husband breaks up, I swear, if I watch another movie where the woman just, I hate him.
Yeah, all this
Thank
talk
you.
about Madge being oppressed, but who slept with someone's husband?
What?
You did.
No, Vag did.
You did.
Who's got two thumbs? Who's got two thumbs and just slept with him?
Well,
But okay, fine,
That's
base.
mine,
Okay,
by the way.
fine, base masks. So she's been wearing all these masks. She's an actress. She's been with this, that, this, and she wants to do away with her masks. And big, powerful priest is like, "I'll help you do it. I have the ideology that will let you achieve, self fulfillment and realization." Psych! It's all masks.
Mm-hmm.
One cannot take it off.
But I mean, like,
I could.
dude, fuck.
well, this
Not
is
me, bro.
This,
Maybe
I don't
you,
even want
but
to.
not
I don't
me.
even want to
Wait.
say it.
well, here's okay.
Dude,
Wait,
I'm
here's
afraid. I'm afraid to say ideas sometimes.
Well, here's the
dude. I'm
thing.
too powerful sometimes.
We gotta lock
Sorry,
you
John.
up.
Go ahead.
I would say
Yeah,
that
man.
we're gonna put a muzzle on.
We gotta put a mask on me.
You gotta put a
man.
mask
Also
on you.
warning.
Wait,
But
everyone's
I'm
masked
masked-
up right now.
Everyone's masked
Viewers at
up.
home, we're all
The,
wearing silly
Yeah, is this a COVID analogy?
COVID analogy.
Yeah.
We're all
Anti-maskers.
watching we're all wearing
Well-
KF95
KRM
likely effective.
95s. The
Yeah.
So I was gonna say that the going along with what I was saying earlier about this being like the kind of positive affirmation of a lot of things that of like the or like the conclusion to a lot of things that Bergman likes to talk about or show. One of these being like, I don't know, he's like always talking about the problems, you know, he's always talking about the problems, and he never ends with like an affirmation, or he does sometimes, but most of the time he doesn't. And this film affirms like the reality of the reality and importance and truth of the roles and the masks. And it's not just obsessed with, oh, there's masks and they're there. I mean, look, I'm making it sound bad, but it's actually good.
Absolutely
in
true,
the
John.
other movies.
What
But
you're saying is
in
based.
other films,
What-
it's talking about the roles and
I've
and
already
I can't
said
fulfill
that,
the
man.
roles, and I can't and how do I escape
No,
this?
it's
How do
the
I escape this? How do I escape
comparison
this?
between
But this is
other
like a like pointing out of the problem and then like an acceptance of it or something like that.
Yeah, it is very unique for Bergman's oeuvre.
Right.
I think that it's obviously super based, but obviously this is nothing more than Bergman affirming himself and telling everyone that he made the right decisions in life, okay? Good for you, Bergman. Real good. Real round of applause for Bergman. Everyone let Bergman pat himself on the back. You managed to make your life cool, bro.
Thank you, Bergman.
Fuck you, Bergman.
Kind of true. I do think the marriage stuff is coping and moping. Like he needs to like justify like his views on marriage need to justify what he's done. I don't get why you can't just say like, yeah, I did bad stuff. You know, I was no one's actual dad, so I could be yours. But pretty true.
We
I
kind
also
of,
think
I mean,
John,
kind of does.
I think John, you're right. But also, yeah, he acknowledges it. He knows. But like in interviews and stuff. But I think you're right that it is distinct. I mean, there are a handful of Bergman films where there is this sort of moment of solution or grace or salvation, but they're
Mhm.
maybe a little more acute, like in Cries and Whispers and stuff. But I think that's kind of why I don't think this is one of Bergman's best, because it isn't nearly as convincing. Like, I think this film is like set in a, you know, despite all the magic, which I think is actually based, given what I'm about to say, but it's kind of like a realistic film where it's like let's exist in the world instead of like the inner world as discussed by Oscar in the beginning. It's like let's dabble in the big complicated world, you know, where it's like, you know, everyone's got problems, but also there's some good things and there's some bad things and there's family and there's love and there's hate and there's blah 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 blah, and it's like, oh, you know, it feels good and, you know, we're just gonna continue on and, you know, blah blah blah, things go on. Whereas other films, it's like an extremely focused look at some you know, element of human despair maybe, or something like this.
Mhm.
And I think they're like a little more convincing than like what is, you know, the solution.
It's
Like
interesting
the
you say the
solution
word
here is
convincing.
just like a general, you know, a general good vibe and like an affirmation of love and family, and that like you know, life is beautiful.
And story.
Well, I don't
life
think-
is
I don't
beautiful,
think it's
story is
ever-
the power of story.
Yeah.
And
Well,
the problems
I mean,
are kind of just they're acknowledged, but it's mostly like, you know, oh, we've seen the other Bergman films, we know about the problems of life. Let's take a look at maybe a more mellow, you know. Anyway,
I mean, I don't
it's
know.
not so.
I mean,
it's not as incisive or as focused and as
It-
like
it
you know, crushing.
it may be less focused and more general, but I think because of that, it is more complete in a different kind of way. Like,
Yeah.
I don't want to be totally both good guy right now, but both good. I mean, yeah, I think, yeah, but I do think that this is I think that in other Bergman films where there is a positive, there is a solution or a positive conclusion to the very particular kind of grief or suffering, it is usually, I mean, I don't know, while convincing, it is also like I don't know.
Maybe just if I can
I was just gonna say that I find the chair scene in particular to be one of the most convincing of any Bergman film, like as being like even if I mean I don't know, and I don't really necessarily see it as being, maybe it's a little more general than other films, but it's still, but I don't see it as being necessarily like in a different league of generality as compared to something like Cries and Whispers or something.
I'm on board. I'll be real quick, Jacob. I just want to maybe just rephrase it as saying like Bergman is perhaps, in my mind, best known and most loved for his investigation of issues. And not necessarily like an issue, like a problem, but like, right, the reason we love Persona, we love Cries and Whispers, we love the Island trilogy is like an investigation of something. And like this film is much less, if not almost not at all, an investigation as much as like a view or something like this.
No, I'm with that, but I'm gonna say that I think that having that from Bergman is like, I mean, yeah, I don't necessarily think that the investigation, though that might be what Bergman does best, I don't think that the investigation is like inherently better or something like that.
Yeah, I'm not saying it is. I'm just saying I think the results of an investigation are more compelling than the results of like a general overview of something.
I thought this was an awesome investigation of.
Yeah,
I thought this was an awesome investigation of Bergman's life, like a fun autofictive. This I feel like I learned a lot about Bergman through this movie, and I think in that sense, I like that it comes away. It's not about the conclusion of what it's positing as the power of narrative and all this. I actually feel like I learned a lot about the director in like an intimate way because of the autofictive nature of it, and I think that's pretty cool. And like obviously there's elements of an autofictive thing. For instance, in Winter's Light is obviously like there's a lot of like elements pulled from Bergman's own like questioning of faith and things like that. But in there I didn't like feel like I was getting a grip on Bergman's narrative, like his life. Mm-hmm. But on this one I feel like I'm really getting a grip on Bergman's views. Not explicitly, but through a story, through fiction.
One more quick thing, Jacob. Sorry, the because of the elements, like we're talking about the coping with like views on marriage and these things. I think that since you can watch the film and think that what Gustav is doing is not so great and what Carl is doing is not so great. I mean, I don't think that it's like do all these bad things, but it'll all turn out okay. I don't think it. I mean, it is kind of that way, but I don't think it necessarily has like. It's not like these things are all right, because like the stuff with Carl is like it's horrible.
Not,
you know, like
the
stuff with Carl is hard to watch.
It's definitely not preachy, and it's definitely not an obvious.
Yeah, he's not like based Carl for like. Like
no,
but they do say but they do praise the matriarch's, the grandmother's way of handling things with her husband. There's like some mythological father that would bed everyone, primordial father that would fuck everyone, and the matriarch of the household refers to him, and people say she handled it well.
I like Gustav.
I don't think it's total copium. Huh? What'd you say?
Gustav pretty much never fails in my mind. I mean, he does the stuff with like Mai, but like that's pretty much resolved, and he handles it. I like Gustav.
Well, no, I don't think Gustav is a bad person.
Yeah,
I don't think Gustav is a bad person.
And I'm just saying, I don't think his infidelity is even seen or portrayed in a negative light.
No, I think there's like a subtle judgmental lens. No, I know they've come to an understanding, but I think that there's some understanding that there's a problem with betting the help over and over again. Like he's not handling it tactfully, I mean, like you could say
it's a constant problem.
Not really.
Yeah, my situation.
That's all he's talking
horrible.
about. Like most of the film is like, oh, I use mine, like he's talking about all that stuff.
Yeah, it's about there's a problem there. I'm not saying it's like all perfect and good, but I'm just saying that the mere infidelity and whatnot, as it relates to some kind of point about marriage, I don't think is portrayed as a problem. I think just him having like outsized control over her future is. Never mind, forget it. Whatever, just forget it.
Okay.
Jacob, please.
Hey, what's up, guys?
Jacob.
What's up, Jacob?
I wanted to
How's that for Loco?
Oh, dude, I'm fucking turned right now. But I'm ready to fucking let's expound on this shit, dog.
Officer problem.
Anyway, I wanted to go back to Edvard because listen, I mean, it's fun to talk
You
about
look like him.
Yeah.
my
You were
ancestor.
obviously
It's fun to talk.
Your name is Jacob Edvard.
And that's why, and because I understand the inner workings of his character the most, which is why I can, like a merchant, travel across the barren desert, the chasm that separates our psychologies, and communicate to you what's really going on under the hood.
Under the hood.
Here's what I want to say, though. I'm gonna go back to the dialogue scene between Gustav, Carl, and Edvard, and at one point, Gustav, he's going off. He's out of his gourd, He's doing his classic Gustav thing of just slamming down some alcohol and then just fucking shouting and, going crazy, right? Which is awesome,
He's literally me.
Carl's sitting there twiddling his thumbs. But anyway, so after Gustav is threatening Edvard and saying, oh, I know you're bankrupt. I know you're in debt. I can declare you bankrupt, this, that, and the other thing. Edvard says, well, he's like,
Joker moment.
Some men don't care about, some men don't care about anything logical, like money. But anyway, Edvard says, like, but you only understand yourself. You don't understand other people, and like people like me who can be, can like suckle on, or I'm trying to think of like the right metaphor for this or whatever. But basically he's saying that some people are like more ascetic, don't care about money, don't care about status, like don't care about people slandering their character or how well off they are, because they know that they're like sticking to their guns and that they have like this concept of like the truth on their side. But Edvard obviously does care about these things. I mean, he's a human, right? But like, moreover, earlier in the film, he's shown to both care about money and his character being slandered, right? His like ego, like he's the one that went to the Jewish guy, to Isaac, to sell his trunk. And he's acting really weird about the money. Like, are you going to give me enough money? Like, I need like you to give me enough money for this. And then immediately after, he's like trying to pawn off his painting to Isaac. He's like, oh, I need, if only you could give me some more money. I really need money. And then obviously he gets super worked up about Alexander lying about what happened to his previous wife and children. But anyway, this is just a roundabout way of saying Edvard is a hypocrite.
Right, and it's in that moment where he's selling the chest, where he's like dabbling or like interacting with the Jew, that he like loses his hold. Loses
counting paper.
Cool.
He like finally, like, as soon as he commits the transaction, it's like he knows that he's blasphemed himself. In the sense that he's like interacting with this person that he doesn't, whatever, he's abandoning his philosophy for a moment, for these material constraints.
He thinks he's stealing the kid, which he is.
What? No, but the thing is he hands him the money, and I think that there's a moment in which to care about like the worldly constraints and to do business with the Jewish person from his philosophy, because his philosophy is one which is obviously anti-Semitic, which comes out in the whole hook-nose remarks and all those things,
Yeah.
Like, clearly he's betraying something when he does business with him, and he's, like, sacrificing himself for this worldly constraint. And then as soon as he commits the transaction, he immediately knows something is awry, or he suspects something is awry. He says, "You're trying to steal," and he runs up.
Well, there's another
but he's
way
already
of
done the betrayal.
there's another way of interpreting this, right? Because from like watching the movie, we get the impression that the reason Edward is flipping out is because he suspects that Isaac is in league with the Ekdals or whatever to kidnap his children and bring them back. But also, it's like reminiscent of the blood libel, right? So like the blood libel is like this thing that was like super common or somewhat common in like medieval / Europe in the past of like
15th century Europe, perhaps.
Yeah, but anyway, the blood libel is like, oh, Jewish people steal your kids to like use their blood for matzo ball soup, right? And so that's what it is. So I mean, it could either be that Edward suspected that this was some scheme to get his children, or he could have literally just had like an anti-Semitic outburst, thinking that this guy was trying to steal his children to like kill them.
Credit where credit's due. Yeah. Edward is literally right. This Jewish merchant is using Jewish magic to steal his children.
But it's for God.
But it's for the Ekdals.
It's because the true God is the God of Yahweh.
Also, also based. Who's the puppeteer Jewish nephew?
I don't know, but it's like his nephew or something. Yeah. It's Isaac's nephew or something.
Anyway, literally talks about all this magic and stuff, and then also doesn't believe in God.
Yeah.
That was kind of the whole like, did Alexander ever become God-pilled? Because it seems like he's just was like cringe and atheist-pilled till the end.
Yeah, he's Mythos-pilled.
No, he's schizo.
Exactly,
he's
bro.
Schizophrenic,
dude, don't you know, bro? Back in the day, the schizos would go to the church and they'd live really good lives as like oracles, bro. They'd be the seers.
No,
anyway,
I think Alex is God-pilled because I don't think he even ever says, he's like, well, if he does exist, he's a dick or whatever he does, But he's a God-fearing child because he is scared shitless when God is behind the door and says he just wants to prove he exists, which was also based. But no,
he's a myth. He's a story.
Yeah, he's a story. Man. He's
story
fearing boy.
Don't you dumb it down?
I.e., God-fearing boy.
Don't you dumb it down? Changing it to 3 letters.
This fucking
you're gonna
fucking
God.
Depends what you mean by God.
Woo! Look, if God is real, why don't I get struck by a lightning bolt right now?
Phase Steven.
Dude,
Steven
just died.
For all the listeners at home, Steven just got struck by lightning. No, but
that doesn't do it. I don't know what will.
Edward, kind of a hypocrite, but also a very uncharitable representation of, religious figures.
But don't worry, you get the
so
charitable.
True. Bergman patting himself
Isaac.
On the back.
Well, you get Isaac though. Isaac is the charitable view.
No, but
he reads the base. He reads the base.
He's not
Torah, whatever.
He's not a cleric. He's just a he's not a rabbi.
Yeah,
right?
Oh, that's true. It is a diss on organized religion.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Which, I mean, I don't know. I mean, it's a diss on organized religion, but it's like particularly about this character. I mean, I don't know. I mean, like, you can't really separate it from being like talking about the whole thing, the whole organization, like, just because that's the nature of it or whatever. But it is still like it's about Edward, right? Like, more so than it is about like all of organized religion or all of like all
I don't know.
Bergman be like anecdotal evidence isn't evidence.
Yeah, no, I think it would make sense that it's just like a big fat critique on at least Christianity or organized religion, because I mean, Bergman like made Winter's Light, so
Winter's Light is pro.
Yeah, it's positive.
No, it's not. Look it up. Look up his takes.
No, it's not. Look it up.
Look up what he said. Look up what he said after he made the movie.
Yeah, can I say something? Can I say
this one
about
thing?
like I'm going to say this. I hope it's not a spoiler, but
wait, no, you can't.
I'm not going to spoil it.
Wait, haven't we all seen
I'm going to say what Bergman's take was. There's a quote from him, was that he realized he was an atheist during making Winter's Light. Yeah, it's not.
Yeah, but it's still the film.
God, I hate Swedish people.
Oh yeah, but who cares? The film is still pro organized religion.
Oh my god!
I have to watch it again. I totally did not walk away with that thought.
It totally is. At the
I
end
think
of the film,
you might have fallen asleep,
Steven.
Steven.
One person.
No, I watched it.
Yeah. Okay.
All right.
Um,
Cannot spoil.
that's that.
Thanks for listening,
God,
guys.
stop.
Yeah.
Talk about Persona.
Huh?
So, what about the part where what about all the colors in the movie?
I like the part with
I like
the
how
colors.
I like how when they go to the room in Isaac's Emporium, it's just like this super red room.
Yeah.
I wanna talk
No, so
about.
true, though.
Come on, let's talk about
No,
colors,
yes.
please.
Let's skip
Okay,
over
all
what
right, we can
Jacob
talk
just
about
said and
colors.
talk about something else.
Sorry, I didn't know it was a serious. Like, I didn't know he was that serious about it.
Right?
Dude,
Of course,
I mean,
it's
yeah,
so based. The
I mean,
colors
just
in the
contrasting
house, the
the-
cozy grandma house where everything is like
yeah,
up to the
versus
tits and decoration, and each room is like a whole different vibe. So fun.
Yeah,
I wish
True.
my
Thank you,
grandma's house
Finley.
was like that.
Yeah,
Dude, her
I-
outfits
so
were fire
true.
too. Dude, all of her clothes were sick.
Dude,
Yeah,
I wanted to
the
be.
outfits were awesome.
I wanted to be
Yeah.
in that. I wanted to be at that Christmas party, dude. Why?
I wanted to be in that grandma.
Dude,
I'm never gonna be
dude,
there.
the Christmas party was so fucking sick because it was like, it was almost as if like nobody actually like wanted it to happen, you know? Like the grandma was just crying, the kids just wanted to be excused from the table, like the fucking all the like help was like feeling like weird and uncomfortable. The what's his name?
Dude,
Carl like didn't even want to
Isaac
be
was
there.
getting all flirty though.
Gustav was the life. He's the life of the party.
Gustav wanted it
Yeah.
to
He
happen.
wanted it to happen.
Yeah,
He did want it to
I
happen,
do like
that's
what you're
true.
talking about, where it's like it's kind of
But
a chore to
it-
put
but,
on,
like-
but it was like super
Yeah.
epic and Christmas filled in the end.
Yeah, exactly. But it's like through it being a chore and like through it just like, oh, well, it's Christmas time, so we have to do this, right? But it's ultimately meaningful, I think is a pretty important.
Yeah, it's kind
Ding,
of like
ding,
it's
ding,
kind of like
ding,
you
ding.
can't
Oh.
like you can't have
Oh.
the. I mean, like you can't have the. I mean, okay, the kind of secret like arguing all happens behind closed doors and stuff is like definitely like that's not necessarily the case. Like that's like a specific cultural thing, you know. But like,
Mhm.
but I don't. I mean, but yeah, I mean, it is the party is still definitely totally positive. Apparently, Steven did not feel positive during.
Wait, it's
No, I'm just kidding. You just said that it was.
yeah, no, I don't think it was all positive. I mean, it was
No, it's
it
not
was
all
cool.
positive. No, it's not. It's far
Yeah.
from all
In fact,
positive.
I think
Holistically
lots of it
positive.
is just showing you problems and dysfunction, which is
No,
fine.
it's
I mean, that's the
family.
point of it.
Yeah, I thought it was epic
Yeah,
because
yeah.
it's just I think it's holistically positive. It's like classic family. You've got the weird uncle. Oh my gosh. Okay, just
Dude, I was so afraid.
yeah. When the
me
uncle
too.
does the
So
I
farting,
was so
the
scared
farting-
something
Yeah.
he was gonna
Yeah.
do something.
I
Dude.
thought it was gonna go
I
so
thought so
bad, but it was
too,
actually
yeah.
so based and funny pilled.
Yeah.
What about when he was flirting with the woman at the table or something?
Yeah, no, he's not even flirting. He's
Yeah.
just being drunk uncle. Like your father
No,
is such a
no,
magnificent
he's like
man.
flirting with her.
He's definitely flirting.
He's flirting with her.
What?
He's like touching her chin and like getting super flirty.
I think it's he's definitely getting uncomfortably weird with her, but I don't think in his mind he's flirting with her. But I think it is he's crossing boundaries that he's unaware of. But it's so awesome. But no, that's it's what's her name? Persia or something. It's the daughter of Gustav. But oh, you know what that means? Trivia time, movie trivia, movie details. So when Oscar is sitting in the chair and he starts reading the story, and it's about taxation in the Roman Empire, you know?
Mm-hmm.
So we all know, right? Bergman left Sweden.
Committed tax fraud.
No, stop! You can't say that. Bergman was self-exiled from Sweden after being arrested for tax fraud, which it was like quickly revealed to have been just a big misunderstanding, and he didn't actually do anything wrong, but that really fucked him up. And then, so this movie, he's coming back to Sweden, I think. I think this is the first movie back in Sweden. In Sweden, right, all these countries have like a film budget to, do all this stuff. And this film got the entirety of that year's film budget, which a lot of
So
people were
sick.
angry about at the time.
That's so sick.
And so he's making this movie paid for by taxation, and then he does this like anti-taxation,
That is
moment
so
in the
sick.
film. It's pretty funny.
That's sick.
I'm gonna do another quick movie trivia. Do you guys know who Peter Stormare is?
Stormy Daniels?
Famously in Dancer in the Dark. Hold on, I'm gonna send it right now.
Michael Avenatti in jail.
We haven't seen Dancer in the Dark. The podcast hasn't.
I know the podcast hasn't, but you know
Some
this
of
guy.
us have.
You've seen this guy.
I think only you and I have seen Dancer in the Dark.
Okay, but people probably know this guy. Looking.
Oh yeah,
podcast.
epic.
He
Did
is
Bergman
in.
make Dance
He's
in
in
the
No,
Dark?
that's
Fanny
true.
and Alexander.
What?
He
When?
plays a young man in Fanny and Alexander. He's listed in the cast list.
That is big time. What?
Yeah, that's so sick.
Dude, if I ever meet
And
this guy
he's-
in real life, I'm gonna ask him about it.
Hmm.
That's cool.
Yeah, he's
That is
sick.
fun movie trivia.
Yeah, fun movie trivia. Pretty sick. That guy's awesome. We love that guy.
Okay. I don't really have that much to say about it, but I do want to talk a little bit about Alexander lying. And then this sort of goes into like Edward's like hypocrisy, because, you know, this fool, he's going that around, you know, he's spreading lies, right? In particular, the big lie
Edward or Alexander?
slash true Alexander was that, you know, he had a previous wife that tried to escape and they drowned or whatever, you know what I mean? And this is, of course, you know, is it true? Did it actually happen? We'll say no,
It's a good story.
but maybe.
It's a true story.
But it's a true story. That's exactly right. Has an element of truth to it, which that's the Bible, dude. The whole thing, did it actually happen? Doesn't matter, bro. But it's still true. And that's whole Edward shtick. He's a Bible guy.
All right,
Anyway.
we need to section off the next 40 minutes for Brody to tell us what he means by believe and God.
No.
Can
Wait,
wait,
Brody,
let's-
what is real?
another
Stop.
another drive-by point, if you'll allow me. You know, Oscar says just a simple funeral, no cathedral, no
No
theatrics,
Chopin.
and then what do
Right.
we get?
No Chopin.
Right.
Yeah, he makes the
Yeah.
joke. I thought that was pretty funny. No Chopin funeral
Yeah.
march.
And then
cut to-
Alexander the whole time is like cock, piss, shit.
Yeah. Do you guys ever used to do
Yeah.
that? Kind of did that. when I
No,
was
but
little.
it did feel true. It reminded me of being in middle school, and it was kind of like cursing for the first time in middle school, and it always felt like naughty, and I felt like good
I felt
because I
good.
was supposed to.
Made Brody powerful.
Yeah.
But yeah, it is pretty. It made me the whole. The funeral was so sad, like that it ended up the way it was. You know, it was big theatrics, big. I don't know, grand, and like, I don't know, when everybody goes over and is like viewing the body or whatever, and then
Who cares? He's dead.
And then, so true, dude, so true. No, and then he,
Dude, the funeral's not for him.
And then,
you think
Kill him.
funeral requests should be respected?
yeah,
Yeah.
Why? For who? He's dead.
what? This is so
For your memory
yeah,
of
Oh,
them?
for
sorry,
the
John, you're
spirit
dead.
of him, of me.
You're not gonna care, John. You'll be dead.
It's very strange that
So-
the
so-
entire movie Alexander's the only one that sees ghosts, but then there's that one scene with Grandma where she talks to Oscar,
Yeah, so he's not.
like just like randomly, like she sees.
I was
him.
shocked when he started talking. I didn't think he was gonna start
Yeah.
talking. That was surprising.
So does that mean that this family just has this family is not a Muggle family?
Right.
Muggle.
Yes,
It's
exactly
a
right.
family of
Magical
mediums.
abilities.
Yeah,
Yeah,
mediums.
it's a
mediums.
family of
They're all
mediums.
Long Island mediums.
Did any of you Google Ekdal, the family name? Did any of you Google that?
Did you actually
yes.
do that?
No.
Because you would know that there was a coven of witches that went by Ekdal.
Oh no.
It's
Is this
over.
true?
Are you just making things up?
Dude, my
Pagan.
entire view of this
Wow,
movie is
wow.
changed.
We just went over the based truth of story, and now we're asking, is it true? Oh my god.
Come on, man.
Dude.
Oh my god.
Taste, art.
What did you mean by oh my god?
Art is the literal condensation of the
Condensation.
vaporous form of human misery and aspiration.
Quote.
Dude, do you know the part that I
Quote
got the
Papa
most
John.
scared at? Dude, I got really scared at those two girls in the fucking attic, and they like
Dude,
puked on him or
The,
whatever.
Oh, yeah.
the puking
that
was so
scary.
so gross, so scary.
I was so pissed off when that happened.
Why?
I was like, fuck.
Yeah, I didn't know I was gonna be watching a scary film. I don't want scary.
Yeah, I was like, never mind.
Yeah, I kind of didn't really get that part either. What was the meaning of this? That was my takeaway. Was I don't really get what he meant by that. Does this mean because he sees ghosts or whatever?
Imagination, baby.
But then they're like,
It's
imagination. But they're like,
true,
stop.
true based reality of the story.
Yeah, reality of the imagination. Grow up.
My bad, dude.
Grow down.
Reality of the
But they told him they're like, stop
Reality.
spreading lies about my father. You know. So like within his imagination, it says like tell the truth, but the truth.
Just think of it like a dream. A dream. You can imagine a dream being the contents of a dream.
Okay, no, that's fair enough.
I really liked this 5.5 hour dream sequence.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, wasn't it crazy at the end when Alexander just woke up? And,
Yeah,
and it was the first part where he fell asleep under the table and the clock was ticking. And
Yeah.
he woke
Well,
up.
no, he woke up in a Bed Bath & Beyond.
You know, that bath
And,
would be- yeah, he
He
took
woke
a
up in the
little bit of a
21st
too deep of
century.
a sniff of those bath salts.
Yeah.
Anyone click reference?
Oh, really?
As a click.
I did not know.
He woke up and he's an
Dude,
alien
Click
hitting
is
a
so
bomb.
sad.
Click is so good. Okay,
Like-
this is a Click podcast.
Like if you agree, Click is actually really
Click
good.
is awesome. I talk about
Finish
it all
this sentence. Adam Sandler is.
God tier
An
artist.
incredible artist. Yeah, an artist.
All right. All right.
Is
Punch
Bergman's
Drunk Love,
son
right?
in spirit?
Yeah.
Adam
Adam Sandler
appears
is
on the Bergman
Isaac.
torch.
Adam Sandler would play Isaac. Let's be honest.
Like
You do a
If
great
he was
job.
playing something-
that was
if
that was
he
bait,
playing
dude.
something
You're
in
just
this
saying that
movie-
because he's Jewish.
Well, he did do bedtime stories. The
Oh,
movie
very
where he
true.
was
Actually,
telling
maybe he plays Oscar.
stories.
Yeah, now you're racist, John.
He also plays
you're,
a
you're
magical-
anti-Semitic, and I
magical
can
Jewish
tell.
merchant.
It's written all. It's scribbled all over your fucking Norse face. Your Norse face.
Obviously, Uncut
Your
Gems
Irish blood
is
face.
a Fane Alexander sequel. Isaac story spin-off.
Dude.
So
Nothing.
so
I'm not
so
gonna say anything.
so what gets cut in the theatrical
Dude,
release?
So much.
I haven't seen it. Troy, have you seen
so
it?
little.
Yeah, I've
Because
seen it.
it's
Probably
all
nothing
Oh,
true.
okay.
important.
Troy, tell us because
You can't truly cut anything because the entirety of the film is true. So you're just removing truth.
You're
from
removing
a whole-
premises.
You're
so
removing
you have
truth
no more proof.
from a whole truth.
Yeah.
You could watch 1 second of this movie and it would be just as true as the other. You know,
I'm trying to find.
however many seconds there are.
I want to find like a
Every
list
frame
of what's
and
cut, but basically like the chair sequence cut.
No.
What?
Isaac's-
No, that's you're
No,
kidding.
yeah, chair sequence cut. Isaac's storytelling cut. Pretty much that whole ending sequence with Isaac in the end cut.
these are like the parts
a
of the
bunch
movie
of
that
the
we're talking
Christmas-
about
No, you're
because they're the
kidding.
most
You're
important
kidding,
parts of the
yeah.
movie.
A bunch of
Yeah,
Christmas
Troy-
stuff.
Troy, you're trolling.
I'm not trolling. A bunch of Christmas
Troy's
stuff
trolling.
cut.
Wait, are you being sincere right
Yeah,
now?
yeah. No, the Isaac storytelling isn't in there, and I'm 90% sure the chair story isn't in there.
Dude,
that's
dude, that
crazy.
is
Dude, so
not-
much, so
Dude,
much
is
material.
Bergman
Is
just like
Bergman-
trolling?
did
Like,
Bergman
if
edit
you're
it?
not
You guys
gonna
are-
watch the whole,
the theatrical
if you're
version
not
is
gonna watch
two,
the whole thing, then get fucked.
Yeah, the theatrical version was 2.5 hours shorter. There's 2.5 hours missing.
Dude, I feel like you could
Yeah,
have
no,
cut
but
other
if I were
stuff
to
that
include
wasn't
anything, I would include those things.
Yeah,
Look,
I'd
look,
rather
look.
watch like an 18-minute movie of those things.
Look, I'm
back
not,
to back
I'm
to
not
back.
1,000,000% sure. I'm trying to find a list of
Dude.
like, you know, what is and isn't there.
Did Bergman edit it? Like,
I don't
Like-
know, man. But they had
Did he
to
have
do
Final
it. They
Cut?
had to do it so that
did
they
he have
could.
Final Cut?
The only reason they released a
Put it on- put it
theatrical
on a
cut
CD.
so they
Final
could
Cut.
be eligible.
This is what Lynch meant.
so they could be eligible for the Oscars.
Is that really?
Who
Yeah.
won this year? This is like 80 something.
82,
82.
83?
82?
Yeah.
I think it's 83.
Well, there's
Okay, so the theatrical cut cuts most of Carl Ekdahl and his wife.
reasonable to
understandable
cut that.
if you're gonna
If you gotta
cut
cut
something,
something,
yeah.
cut that.
Okay, the theatrical version doesn't include the ghosts in the attic, or really any of the attic.
All right.
Okay.
Okay.
That's all right. We can.
Any of the attic?
What? Yeah, I'm pretty sure most of the attic is gone. Definitely the ghosts.
Yeah. All right.
So
I'm
in
trying to find,
82, the best picture was Chariots of Fire, and in 83, it was Gandhi. And I haven't seen either of these films.
I've seen Gandhi.
The sexual
about-
sexual moment between Mai, like the weird sexual energy between Mai and Alexander is removed.
Yeah.
Which
That
which
was so
actually
epic.
is so weird when she's like it totally is
Bergman insert.
Bergman insert, but
Murmur of the
also
heart.
but like Alexander's
Murmur of the
jealousy,
heart.
you know, with respect to his mom, is like
Right.
also present and like right, he's jealous of Mai getting piped down by Gustav. So inappropriate.
What about the closing shots with Alexander resting his head on the lap of Grandma as she reads this supposedly misogynistic play?
Strindberg, Bergman, big fan of Strindberg. How about
I had to take on that, but then I was like, I forgot it.
Got your daughter read the new Strindberg with read it to Percy bring a dinger.
so true?
That was my take.
Yeah.
I like it when Edward, like a big Chad, shoves Alexander down as a
Who?
ghost. Edward. Ghost
Oh
yeah.
yeah.
Edward.
Does he shove him or trip him?
I think he just pushes him down, and then he's like, "You'll
Yeah, it's so
never be rid
based.
of me," or something like this.
Yeah.
Base
I really
Macbeth.
like that. Because he has no more mask. The Grim Reaper or something, like there's some sort of connection between him and the Grim Reaper from the beginning, or like the death from the beginning, you know?
Mhm.
He sees like the spirit of death at the opening. And then here we know that the spirit is like Edward, or there's some connection between the two. I think that's cool.
Very Macbeth.
I was gonna say that the earlier when we were talking about like Hamlet things going on, there's the whole reflection. I mean I don't know, this is repeated many times. I don't know if it actually originates in Hamlet, but the whole our small world reflecting the bigger world. There's a line in Hamlet that is very similar to that and talks about the play will be we will be holding up a mirror to the world and et cetera, et cetera.
Oh
You
yeah.
know, there's tons of stuff in Shakespeare about, all the world's a
Yeah,
stage, blah blah blah
So
blah blah.
but the fact that it was the wording was reflecting and stuff, I thought was possibly intentional, just because there's all the other stuff with Hamlet and whatnot.
Will the Cohen Hamlet be as good as Fanny and
No.
Alexander?
Macbeth.
Dude, yeah. It's crazy
Tomorrow
that
and tomorrow and
it's
tomorrow.
crazy that Fanny and Alexander like came out like 30 years after Shakespeare wrote Hamlet.
Very true.
All right, time to comment on how every single male character is impotent or dead,
Just like real life.
just like real life.
Is impotent or dead?
Oscar died.
Except
Oscar
Alexander.
was the only Chad, and he died. Alexander is obviously impotent child.
What do you mean by impotent? I mean Gustav impregnated Mai, so
Okay, he's literally he definitely has semen, but
yeah.
he's like unable to like take it. Like his wife obviously is like the competent
Right.
organizer of their marriage.
Yes.
The grandma
that's true.
runs the show. Actually, Isaac is like the only guy who's like competent and powerful.
Yeah.
Yeah, Isaac's sick.
You know why?
Tell me why, Steven.
I don't want to say it.
It'll
upset Jacob.
It'll upset John.
Yeah, John will
Yeah.
get. I can't even mention the word these days.
Why?
He gets so furious. He read out.
I
He
read
reads
out.
out.
Fanny and Alexander didn't even get nominated for Best Picture or anything. And you know why? Because they cut out all the best stuff.
So true.
Conspiracy? Who edited the theatrical release?
Wasn't
And who
Parasite
wanted
the
him to
first
not?
foreign film to get Best Picture?
Dude,
I
man.
think
Maybe.
it might have been, dude. That's so crazy.
Wait, really? Like Dreyer never got an Oscar or whatever?
I don't know.
An Academy Award?
Dreyer?
When was the?
Yeah,
Was there
what
the
is
first
the
time?
dude who did those like something Dreyer, all those like early Faith ones. You watched the Dreyer, wasn't Joan of Arc a Dreyer?
Yeah,
movie?
so good, dude.
Joan of Arc.
Yeah, like I think the Academy liked that guy.
Yeah, they always sometimes get the foreign films. But,
Parasite
might
is
be
the only
first,
foreign film to win Best Picture so
Yeah,
far.
Parasite
Damn.
might be the first.
Although
foreign
the
film to win
artist-
Best Picture, but when was the first time an American film was Best Picture? Riddle me that. Ugh, America.
The artist. I don't know if you guys seen that. I actually can't believe I've watched that.
What?
The Artist. It's a 2011 won Best
No.
Picture.
Who's in it?
A 2011.
Who
Um,
directed it? Yeah, out of what?
Out of what?
2011 out of what?
We're
It's
getting
a
a little
it's a
off
black and
topic.
That's
it's a
okay.
black and white silent film directed
Oh.
by Hazanavicius.
It's probably nothing. If it's silent, I mean, what could it even be about?
So true.
It's about old Hollywood,
Oh my gosh, nothing worse.
and it's a French
Aw.
production.
Oh my!
It just keeps
God.
getting worse. It just keeps getting worse.
There's literally nothing worse than old Hollywood and all the.
And then,
women
yeah, and
that
it's-
did it.
And it's also
Troy's stupid.
Troy's
just
trying to
kidding.
Troy's trying to poke.
Yeah, I
at me,
know. I was just kidding.
And it's not working.
And it's not working.
I will not fall for this.
I feel like, dude, how can this be 5 hours? I feel like, it's like 5 hours, 5 or 6 hours, whatever. I feel like, but when I think through everything, like, it feels like we've only talked about like 2 hours worth of stuff.
If
you know what I
that,
mean?
we just.
Because there's only 2 hours worth of stuff in
Yeah,
it.
Like, it isn't like, doesn't feel as like jam packed
3.5
as,
hours of filler.
Yeah.
as some other things that we
Jacob,
discussed,
you bring up a
know?
good point, and that's why this is a perfect time to announce to our audience that we'll be doing a shot by shot commentary of Fanny and Alexander soon.
Fanny and Alex.
And if a shot by shot of no film ever happens, it's Troy's fault for not harassing us to actually start it.
What about guys? What
That's
about
the most true thing you've ever said, Brody.
guys?
Thank you.
What
If
about
something doesn't
the?
happen, it's because Troy didn't harass me into doing it, which I think I want to do.
What about the play that we get to see after Oscar has died, or we see the
Yeah.
and you've got the clown with the rain.
I love the clown.
with the
Yeah.
candle on his head.
Oh yeah, they're doing stupid
yeah.
stuff, right? And they're like,
Oh,
Dude,
"This is what
thank
the
you
people
for saying
want."
candles. All right, who wants to bring it up? Who wants to talk about candles?
oh shit! I don't know what the hell you're gonna say, but I have something
There
to
are
say.
so
too.
many
Dude, very
candles in the
briefly,
Christmas scene.
Was anybody just, I don't know, on your first viewing, were you thinking, oh my God, something is going to burn down?
Yes.
Of course, in the end, we do see some burn. But, dude, I thought for sure the household was going to burn down. Something was
Yeah.
going to happen. Like,
Ep-
those candles were giving me insane anxiety. Not only that, those candles next to the apples, did you notice those? The
Mhm.
apple, there's like an apple stand, and they're right next to all these candles. Like,
Dude,
it's
they
intentional.
have
There's some-
candles in
whatever.
the tree.
Yeah.
First time I watched it, Christmas episode, there's like literally 700 candles just
Dude,
lit.
it's insane. I started counting them for a moment, then I was like, "This is autistic. I can't do this," and so I stopped.
Yeah,
Candles are cool.
but base
I'm gonna go light a candle right now.
theater just evolves into Hollywood.
Dude, I loved they all have this like theater, and Emily like leaves, and everyone is sort of like over the theater. Everyone's overacting, because they're all just sort of going through the motions. It's sort of all lost on
Well, no,
them.
it's because they have to.
I
Put
got
on,
recruited by I got recruited by the troop in Paris,
Yeah.
so it's all stuff to me.
They have
Right,
to.
yeah.
And he walks
Well, they
on.
have to.
So good.
They're acting out some stupid thing, and no one likes the play, and they're like, "Well, this is what we have to do now that we don't have the financial backing of the Ekdals. Like,
No,
now we need to."
but they
start doing kooky stuff.
but they were over it. They were over Shakespeare at a certain point when Emily was first leaving. Remember?
No.
Yeah, dude. They were they what were they performing when Emily left?
What do you mean when?
When the last scene, And then they were
And
and then
Emily
Emily
gives
was
the
like, I have,
announcement.
yeah, and she's like, I
Everyone
have to,
sits down in a
everyone, I have,
circle.
Yeah, they're
What was the- what were they
performing
playing?
the thing with the candle on his head, right? Yeah.
Yeah.
Is that the poopy stuff?
I thought that was the bass stuff.
No.
They all hate it.
They're
They all
doing-
I thought
hate what
the
they're
actors
performing.
did
I don't
not
know
like
what it is.
performing.
They all don't
like
like it.
And there's commentary about how, like, this is what they have to do now in order to get people in the seat.
I thought getting what people have to do now to get in the seats was when Emily was returning, and they're like, "Oh, what are you performing?" And they're like, "Oh, I'm performing some shit, but just to get people in the seats."
I can't recall.
I'm almost, dude. I feel pretty strongly about this.
Go off, Katie.
Jamie,
Yeah, but
pull that up.
and also I have to feel strongly about this because if what I'm saying is wrong, then it doesn't support my point, which is that it's only until after Emily leaves and they start performing the crap stuff is when they actually understand and realize the value of what they're actually doing, you know? And so there's something about like performing a story like too many times and performing a role that you actually sort of like get lost in what you're doing, and through it's just like Christmas because
Just like Christmas.
dude, so like
Yeah,
you know
the
how
true meaning
there's
gets
like
lost.
because you
True
know
meaning
you
Christmas.
like you always see like, dude, Christmas clapback, man. I hate my racist uncle at the Christmas party, man. Christmas is so stupid, man. Right?
So
And
true.
and then
Is-
but they're it's lost on them. They've done it too many times as they don't realize what they're actually doing, you know?
Yeah.
And it's because the story is also lost on them. The story of Christmas,
Well,
bro.
this is
Anyway.
I
Hard
don't.
times
I
make
don't-
good Christmas. Good Christmas.
I don't
makes
know.
weak men, weak men defile
Look,
Christmas.
I don't know if the play is Shakespeare that they're doing, but I know the monologue
There's
that
no
the
way.
guy's given with the candle is good. Like
yeah,
is-
it was based. That's why
yeah,
I'm pretty
it's
sure
super
it's a
good.
based
And the
thing
whole
that they're
time, all the
performing.
guys in the wings or whatever are just like, oh, this is so dumb.
Well,
and
That's another. Dude, that's
so,
another,
so I
that's
think
another
that
thing,
your
is
point,
is-
whether or not it's Shakespeare or not, is
not
total
Shakespeare.
is true. It's good. It's
Well,
good.
dude, it was crazy because not only are all the people bored by the performances, but so are the audiences. You know, like the audience, like why are they even showing up? Like they don't even know. You know, but they just keep coming and they just keep performing, and it's just this ritualistic thing that just keeps happening, and then like it then starts to dissipate. You know, as time goes on, it's pretty fucking dope. But then, of course, when it all falls apart, that's when the true meaning of it reemerges.
Dude, Bergman is such an idiot and a loser for spending so much time on plays and theater. He directed like a bajillion different plays,
That's sick.
literally wasting his time when he could have been making me films.
Yeah, I can't watch your plays, Bergman.
Yeah, stupid.
Dude, I wish there
I
were
want to see a
more.
Bergman play, dude. That'd be so sick.
I want to see a
Recordings
Bergman
of
play.
so
That would be
sick.
sick. So sick.
Sorry,
So
Jacob.
sick.
You guys stole Jacob. What the
Sorry,
My
fuck?
bad.
You guys
What
ever
if
watched?
You guys actually abducted him.
You guys ever
so.
watched like recordings of plays?
Yeah, I've seen.
Bergman.
Like, did you?
Yeah.
Did you?
Bergman has a movie called The Magic Flute, which is that.
The magic
That's based-
flute.
It's a Mozart
But like
opera.
in, I think it was, motherfucking, God damn it, Oedipus. I think. Did you guys ever watch Oedipus in like English
I
class?
read Oedipus.
No.
But did you also watch like there's a theatrical play version that was like recorded in black and
No,
white?
I've only read it.
Okay.
Is that?
Anyway, plays are cool.
Yeah.
I like plays and musicals.
Yeah,
Plays-
they're cool, but I can't watch them right now.
I wish I could see more live
You can.
plays.
You can.
Yeah. Why don't you?
I
You can.
You can.
What's wrong with you, Brody?
I
could.
watched.
Dude, we should.
could.
Cinematographilogically speaking, should go see a play.
We should.
That'd be
Dude,
so
we-
fun.
Dude, that would be
Yeah.
sick.
Awesome.
And get
I-
all
That'd be
dressed
so
up.
down,
Dude,
That'd
one
be
of-
so sick.
one of my like
Theater.
one of my core memories is watching, and I don't even know if this is like a good play, but I watched Wicked like when I was young.
I also
And
saw
I thought it
Wicked.
was, dude.
It was awesome.
I thought it was,
I
dude.
also
It
saw
was,
Wicked.
dude. I was hyped. It was so
yeah,
sick.
Wicked was epic.
I don't know. I don't know if I saw it like today, how I'd feel. I don't even really remember what happened. I just remember like being really captivated by like the stage and the aesthetic of it all.
Yeah, I don't think you'd like it as much, but Wicked is based when you're like 11.
Yeah.
At the Pantages, baby.
Are we sharing play memories now?
Yeah, I think we are.
sure,
If you
memory.
have one.
I think I may have shared this with Troy. I've probably said this before, but for the listeners at home, I remember when I was in high school, I went this owner of a cafe. So I really liked this girl, and this girl worked at a cafe, and her boss put on plays in a warehouse on East Side, which is like the bad side of town, and like and she asked me like, hey, you want to go with me to this play? And I was like, yeah, and we drove down to the play. It was a sequel to The Tempest by Shakespeare. I had never read or seen The Tempest and knew nothing about anything that was going on. In fact, I couldn't even pay attention to what was going on stage, but the whole like drive up was crazy because we're like in this bad part of town. It's a warehouse. It's like 10 p.m. at night, I'm with this girl that I really like, it's our first like date, it's like, ooh, and then we get in and we're sitting, it's a small crowd. It's this crowd of like 18 people sitting in like those, and like when in kindergarten, there's like those plastic plus metal leg chairs that are like bolted into the seat and you can like pull them out and stuff. They're like really small, just like seats in elementary school. So there were like just those set up like 18 or 20 seats like that. And so I'm just sitting in this chair, like super anxiety pumping. It was awesome.
That's a pretty Kino memory,
sick.
dude.
Very
That sounds
Kino.
awesome.
Yeah. The story surrounding the story you went to see is probably better than the story you saw.
Yeah, probably. I mean, it was written by some like old English teacher that used to teach at Court Hill, apparently.
Dude, I hate stuff
so
like
probably
that.
just-
I hate when
That
they do
is definitely
Shakespeare
better.
sequels and stuff, or like everything is like it's Hamlet, but it's 2016
Yeah.
Chicago.
yeah.
Okay, real quick.
I think it's pretty Kino when they do that.
I don't.
I think no,
because they don't even. It seems like they don't actually like.
Well, it depends
Depends
on
on the
how it depends on
adaptation.
how one-to-one and onto
So
the
true.
adaptation
It's
is.
subjective.
Yeah.
I think I've seen
It's Hamlet, but
I've
with
seen
lions.
I've
Is this
seen
isometric?
my brother's family just they put on
Nice.
backyard they put on little backyard productions Shakespeare plays,
So fun.
and we went and saw hold on, I gotta remember it's
Shakespeare.
which
and Clark.
one's the
John goes to a play like every week. Just so you guys know.
which one?
Who?
John.
John. That's sick.
Yeah, I go to a lot of live
I've seen
stuff.
it may not seem like it, but I've seen a lot of plays.
I've seen Christmas
Really?
Story.
And I used to
like
be in
100
them.
times.
Wait, when I say I want to see a play, not to offend anybody who's seen small time plays, but I'm talking the big
Yeah.
stage here. I'm talking some serious
dude,
production.
I'm telling
Big
you.
time's fun, but small time
No,
is
I'm
also
telling you,
pretty
I'm
fun.
telling
It's
you,
fun.
dude. Serious small
Okay.
productions are like okay. I went and saw Les Mis not that long ago, and it was like crazy high production value. It was so sick. It was incredible. But
Mhm.
my favorite ones that I've ever been to have been in very small theaters that are theater in the round, where like you have the stage in the center and then the seats surround the entire thing 360, and they're like I know I saw 110 in the Shade, which my dad was in, and that was probably one of the better ones that I ever saw. But I don't know. I think that there's like both good different reasons, because you have like
Good.
you have like the huge like spectacle and stuff, and that can be seriously powerful, but like you lose out on the intimacy of a super small theater and the super small theater. So it's like it just depends on the, and like I don't know, small theaters, like when you have a production in a small theater and they make it feel huge, they make what they're doing. Like I saw a musical recently that was that my cousin was in, that was like small theater, but they were so good that it like made it feel as though it was like this huge like Hollywood Broadway thing, because it was like that era. It was like the like 1940s or whatever, like that era. And so, but yeah, and so it's like I don't know. I think it's the way in which they can like transform the theater into a certain kind of a space, whether that's intimate or not, is like, I don't know, what's it's impressive in both respects.
Okay, does Carl's wife deserve the abuse she receives?
Of course.
In this essay, I will argue that kind of.
Yeah.
Okay, so obviously not, but like she's okay. Also, real quick shout out.
Well, obviously,
quick
she
shout
does.
out to something you're not gonna find in the theatrical version, which is her singing at Christmas night. Oh, it's so good. She gives a beautiful rendition, and Carl watches her so intensely. I love his intensity. Anyway, but his plight is somewhat relatable. He's got all his own individual problems. But imagine he's getting Truman Showed by this woman, where like it's almost like what he does or what he says, like he can't affect his own reality. Like no matter what, she'll just be like, "Oh, mein Liebling, I love you," all this stuff, and he's like frustrated because he can't even have a real dynamic relationship with her because she loves him too much, Like he just he wants her to be an independent human being, and you know what I mean? Like I'm just saying, I'm just pointing out that is like probably legitimately extremely frustrating, where like you can't even have a real relationship because the other person doesn't respond to you in a way that makes sense.
Dude,
But
we've all been there.
let me just say really quick. Let me say really quick. Even though it's obvious, but no one said it, and all that's been said is that Carl is totally justified or whatever. It still doesn't justify the level of the way in which he handles that frustration.
No, so true, but
Yeah.
But also, I do love when he's like, "Tell her I'm gonna commit suicide." Are you really? Only when I look at you.
Yeah.
Mogged.
Carl's priceless.
Clogged. Anyway, I just wanted to point that out. And then he farts.
Team Carl or Team Gustav?
I love when he runs up and down the stairs, generating powerful farts.
I'm Team Gustav.
Yeah, Carl is a
I'm
little
also Team
bit.
Gustav.
Carl is a little bit too far.
What?
Whereas,
It's not there's no choice here, people.
Dude,
what are you talking about? We
dude,
just
so,
presented a
like-
choice.
No,
Carl versus Gustav.
Yeah, we're
both
literally
good.
offering you one right now.
That's like saying
Babana.
that's like saying in your car, would you rather keep the engine or the battery?
Okay.
Engine.
So if Carl dies, does Gustav die too?
But they're a dynamic duo, clearly.
Would you rather
Jacob.
keep the engine or the
Jacob,
or
you
the
have to shoot
tires?
one.
Engine.
Jacob, you have to
shoot
kill
one,
one right
kill
now. I'm
one.
handing you a
Well,
gun.
you-
Dude, for a moment in the dialogue scene between Carl Gustav and Edvard, I was like just praying for a like a super epic Carl redemption. Like I thought he was gonna. I was like
No.
hoping for him to like pull out a pistol and kill
Yeah,
Edvard
me.
and take
Totally.
the kids.
Yeah.
Because like Carl, he's just like it's almost like if you've seen Game of Thrones, which they totally
No spoilers.
fucked up. Right, but like
Definitely.
Theon, the character of Theon, like
Yes.
throughout the entire series, he's just fucking taking it, dude, taking it, and so you're just like please, like let him redeem himself somehow, and that was how I felt with Carl, like please give this man a moment.
Yeah.
Yeah, Carl had his moment when he pulled the most epic, the most hilarious, the most gonna go down in history as one of the funniest Christmas pranks ever, when he stood up to give his speech, and his speech was like, "I have no speech," and sat down. Oh my god, that is gonna go down in the Ekdal books.
Yeah,
It's
yeah.
one of the most classic gags ever to take place.
He's a gag guy. I could respect that. I could respect a man with gags.
I would not hang out with Carl.
Let's
Let's get it clear. I would.
Yeah, let's-
not
wait, hold
hang out
on.
with him.
I
He's
don't-
so sweaty.
He's too sweaty, dude. Yeah, I can't be in the same room as
Yeah.
that sort of thing.
The scene when he's just
Wow,
laying
is
down
that
him?
sweating.
That's funny.
Now, do you know anyone that like intense and serious in real
Only
life?
me.
As Carl?
Yeah.
No, maybe
No.
not. Maybe not that. Maybe not to that extreme. No.
Yeah, and like not even like autistic or whatever, and, like that would like contribute to like the seriousness. but like someone who's,
Carl is literally me.
you know,
You mean in like the?
relatively.
Wait, do you mean in like the? I like just the seriousness.
No. Like he just has like that serious intensity about him. You know what I mean? Like he's like, you could easily comport him. Like he's like he's like a blue collar like.
He's not though. He's an academic.
Listen,
do we know what
I'm
he
talking
studies?
in terms of. I'm talking in terms of like psychological
I know.
disposition.
I got
Like,
you.
If you've
I
ever
think
been
I know-
into a
I think-
dive bar, you know that biker guy
Yeah.
who's just like.
I think I know. I think I do know one person who comes close, and he is my uncle Jim.
Uncle Jim.
Nice.
Yeah, shout
Let's
out
go.
Jim.
Shout out Jim.
Could I?
Tragic life. It's so
Dude,
sad.
when his wife takes him away from like when he's playing games with the sailors,
Oh, dude.
and he's like, and she's
Yeah.
like, come on, go. You know, you like.
Yeah.
Dude, I
Yeah.
just imagine him being like so drunk that he is like that whole night. I just imagine him being like basically blackout drunk. Like,
We've all been
he's
there.
just drinking so much. He looks like he's constantly on the verge of passing out. I'm constantly thinking about, dude,
Yeah,
get
and
some
the way
water,
he's
son. And
breathing,
when his
too.
wife offers him a
Yeah,
hot
I
toddy,
love when he's.
the wife is
breathing
like,
hot.
"Should I make you a hot toddy?" And I'm like, "Dude, get him some water, please. This
Drink
man is
water.
gonna die soon."
I love when he's talking to Petra and he's just breathing super hard and heavy into her face.
Yeah.
Yeah.
you can just imagine how bad his breath stinks.
Dude. Okay. Someone break down. Let's reel it back in here. Let's bring it down. Let's get to the brass
Let's
tacks.
really not. Let's reel
reel
it
it out here.
Let's cast.
Let's let out
cast
some
Someone
wine.
someone explain.
Let's cast
Someone
this
run us
bitch.
through. Talk about and fully explain the Isaac's story. We've like barely
Okay.
talked about it, even though we keep mentioning it.
Do we want a summary or do you want the
Ooh.
results? You want the findings?
I don't know. They watched the movie, right?
Everyone watched the movie.
Well, Isaac's thesis is that God isn't real. I'm a nihilist.
Nuh-uh.
Magic can distract people from their suffering temporarily.
No.
No. He's
Nuh-uh.
not. He's not.
It's a story that's a little too on the nose about the pointlessness of the human existence, but also, it's part.
So exactly. what I just
The
said.
nature of that life
Basically,
is
yeah.
to be thirsting, and in a desert, and the only liquid that might satisfy man is the condensation of human misery and ambition and love and everything that is art.
But it's funny because that might just be for you.
That might just be for you. What are you talking about? That's like literally what his story's about.
No, but that's just for you.
Oh, what was it? What was it for you?
Well, for me, no. For me, that's not my life. That's for you.
That's for me. That's my
Um,
life.
Yeah,
I think.
you're just saying.
Well,
shit about you.
I think that. I mean, yeah. I don't think he ever says that there. Like he says that there is no destination or something like that, right?
It doesn't say there is none, but that no one knows what it is.
Well, yeah, there's no, and then it's implied that that no one will ever reach it or something. But I think that like, I mean, that's like kind of being like, well, yeah, you're never gonna like prove God exists or something like that. Not necessarily that there is no destination like in like within the frame of what's knowable or something like that, right? I mean, that's what I thought.
Yeah, the real destination is the water you drank along the way with the friends you made along the way.
Hell yeah.
Dude, I don't
No,
always
that's
come
for
back
me.
to the friends
Dude,
you made
that's for
along the
me.
way.
Dude, Troy, I feel like he says this so many times on so many of our podcasts, and I feel like whenever he says it, he's being disparaging about this topic, but it is true.
What?
I'm annoyed.
What's true?
What, the friends?
What?
What?
What are you talking about?
No,
Yeah,
we
he's
talk
like,
about
oh,
it.
yeah,
Sick.
friends
It's
maybe
true.
along the
It's
way.
based.
Well, of course, it's
I know,
true
but
and based.
it is true and based, but Troy, he always sounds
Well,
disparaging
no,
about
because
it.
the story Isaac tells is obviously insanely awesome, but in this current retelling, it sounds like a stupid story about everyone's going, they don't know where they're going, but they keep walking, and God doesn't exist, but then art is good. So then I presented the
Man,
friends along the way as a
just
trope.
say you hate the movie, man.
Listen, the story is so epic, and part of what makes it so fucking awesome is that Isaac pretends like he's gonna read it, but virtually instantly just starts telling the story, which is
Yeah.
awesome.
Oh, I don't know. My translation is gonna be rough.
Yeah. I also really like the
Says it in
translation part.
perfect Swedish.
Yeah, I like
that's
the
because the story. That's because the story was actually never told. That's because, the telling of the story is just a part of Alexander's
So
imagination.
true. I also read it as a diss to the fact, like, Bergman's awareness that most of his viewers are not Swedish, and like wants to bring a little bit of attention to that.
That's not my fault, Bergman.
Is that true? Most of his viewers.
What are you talking about? Yeah, for sure.
Okay.
Most people aren't Swedish.
Most people aren't Swedish, and I think he's also knows, like, in perpetuity,
Oh, I
the
guess
percentage of all people who ever watch a Bergman film, like, almost none of them are Swedish.
I just committed cringe and am now embarrassed that I immediately associated not Swedish with only American.
With not human.
That's so bad. But yeah, I don't know. I
No, that's
mean,
the
I don't know.
way
I don't know how many
it
people. I don't know.
It's-
I don't know how
it's a
many
good
people
thing
know
this-
Swedish like that live in
I mean,
Europe
well,
and
I
stuff.
do.
You know, like I don't know if it's
a
like
good thing.
you're watching a translation or whatever. Like if you live in a lot of particular countries in Europe, which is where I imagine most of his
Right.
viewers are. Right?
No one speaks Swedish, dude.
I don't know,
It's literally
Yeah,
a psyop.
It's a good thing that it's a 1-to-1 translation with English, though.
dude.
So true.
You want to know something crazy?
Thank goodness that it comes through 100%.
Yeah,
I have a friend
For me, at
who's
least.
going on.
better in English.
I have a friend who's going on a study abroad this spring, and they're going to Sweden and taking a Bergman class.
Too bad they'll.
Whoa, Troy wishes that was him.
No, dude, Troy does not.
It might
Why not?
suck.
Because they're probably going to watch like 2 Bergman films, and then he's going to walk away thinking he knows Bergman. Well, he's not me.
Yeah, you know Bergman, man. Check out the
Yeah,
phone case.
I'm the
buddy.
based independent scholar who actually engages with primary sources. This guy's going to watch like Seventh Seal and then read like 4 books about Seventh Seal, and he's going to be like, oh, okay,
You wouldn't
I'm
watch.
a Bergman scholar.
You wouldn't take a Bergman class.
Of course I would.
Okay, there you go.
Bergman
That's all. Is
scholars-
it?
Listen, only if the rate my professor says that it's like a 2 on the
Easy
hardness
A.
scale and a 4 on the spicy
Yeah.
scale.
And then you take it a pass no, you take it pass no pass and show up to 1/3 of the lectures, but constantly talk about how base the class
So
is.
true. I did that. That's what I did with my 2 Shakespeare classes. Except I actually.
It's also
read all
what you
the
do with
Shakespeare.
Dostoevsky.
Dostoevsky, that was true. That one did not do the readings, but that class was like unironically too hard for like my reality at the time.
Yeah, but everyone got A's,
Everyone got
so
A's, so.
RP had our backs.
Yeah, I just want to point out
Not to
that
name
I
drop.
have read pretty much most of Shakespeare.
Every Dostoevsky
and you
book.
guys haven't.
You've read what?
So
What have you
That's
read?
not true.
I've read every major Shakespeare work.
All right, let's
and,
hear 'em.
You guys haven't.
Let's hear them in a plot synopsis
listen.
that proves that you read them. Let's hear the perfect understanding that you now have.
But like I just want the audience to know that earlier when Steven was like, "Oh yeah, The Tempest," and I haven't read The Tempest. I want everyone to know I have
Right,
read The Tempest.
you haven't read The
No,
Tempest.
that I have.
You
read
haven't.
The Tempest.
Have you
You haven't.
And not better. I'll do you one
No.
better. I understand The Tempest.
Wait. Have you read The Tempest?
Yes,
Okay, name 4 characters in it.
they're literally. I don't even know if there are 4 characters in it.
I knew you were trolling,
There's the
dude.
wizard. There's the
you
slave.
just got
there's the
bro.
spirit.
You may have read all of the major works, but have you memorized the 16th sonnet?
Tomorrow, and tomorrow, and tomorrow. Creeps in this petty pace from day to day, the last syllable of recorded time. And all our
I can actually tell that he's
That is
reading
not-
it.
that is
He's-
not
I could
My
tell. I could
mistress
tell that he's
with a
reading
monster.
it.
My mistress with a monster is in love, near to her close and consecrated bower, while in her dole and nuptial hour.
Let's go.
I don't know the rest. Fuck.
To be or not to be?
Midsummer Night's Dream.
That is a question.
I could see the reflection in his glasses.
have you guys
That shows that he's
have
reading.
you guys
it.
seen any Shakespeare? Like do you have any like particular movies that you like or seen live productions that you like?
Wait, can I ask?
Wells, Orson
briefly,
Welles, Othello is pretty good.
I want to watch that one. I haven't seen that one.
Whichever Othello has Lawrence Fishburne was kind of keen on.
Who here has performed Shakespeare?
Not me.
Yeah.
That's pretty base.
Steven and I.
I'm surprised
Steven and I
Jacob
did it
hasn't.
together,
My
dude.
dad has.
Hell
but
yeah, we
not
did.
Me.
All right.
What character did you play?
Well,
You were
okay,
Puck,
wait. Does
right?
I was
just
Puck, yeah.
okay?
Who the hell
Actually,
was
I'm
I?
going to raise my hand.
Who here understands that Shakespeare Was actually
one of the
what's his
dudes?
name?
You're probably one of the dudes.
Earl of Oxford.
Yeah, it's Edward de Vere.
Edward de Vere.
Was that the
Dude, it's
donkey?
really-
Was that the donkey dude?
Maybe, or well, you were definitely, maybe Heaven was. I know you were a dude. You were one of those guys fighting for
For
love,
those
fighting for
Dude,
someone.
people
That's
at
sick.
home,
Just like in real life.
know what we're talking about. If you're Stratfordian, i.e., think that some guy named William Shakespeare existed and wrote this stuff, you
Yeah.
should
Google.
like, engage in acts of self-harm.
Google Alexander
Wait,
Vaughn.
so I'm not totally pilled on this. I mean, I know the the claim, but I just don't know why. And it's very weird that there would exist all these works at a time where like
I linked it.
like it's people know historical facts from this era. Like it's not like a time without history.
It
Jacob-
kind of is,
Jacob,
though.
I-
Why would there be this
Jacob, I
mysterious
linked-
figure writing all
I
these?
linked
Listen,
all the
it's been
information you
linked.
need in high quality.
I just don't know, bro.
Anyway, Edward de Vere wrote it.
Wait, you're saying so you're on the whole like it's not William Shakespeare.
Yeah.
It's just one other whole dude because I like to subscribe to it being like a council, like a few guys, like 3 guys.
Yeah, that's gonna be a no.
All right.
I'm a Shakespeare believer.
Yeah. I used to be-
Right on. I am too.
You guys
I
should
used to
check
think it was
out
cringe.
the channel I sent in.
I've already read and listened to every theory, and I already know that the original one that I was presented and had no critical view of initially is still the correct one.
So based.
All right. If you could say one thing to Bergman, what would you say or want to talk about? What would you talk about?
I'd say
I-
suck
Fuck
my fucking
you.
I'd say suck my fucking dick. Bergman.
I'd be like, these women, huh?
These women, eh?
Can't live with them. Can't live without them, huh?
So that sums up like yeah.
He'd
Bergman's
give you
entire
he'd give you a fist bump for that for
Yeah.
sure.
Yeah, and then I'd hold it down and be like, pound it, bro, and then I'd move it and be
Yeah,
like,
I'd be like,
oh, you
you know-
boom, boom.
No, yeah. What you do is you lift up your fist and you're like, so Liv Ullman. Yeah.
yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
I would inform him that if his hand is as big as his face, he has cancer.
I'd let him know.
This is-
I'd be looking out for a brother.
Hey,
would
spell
just
spell
wanna say
icon.
Smell like a Bergman.
I tell me as Ligma.
yeah.
So
Be like, smells like up dog.
in Fanny and Alexander, when Carl Ligma Sugma Dienda, what did you mean by that?
Yeah. I show him Spider-Man No Way Home.
See, how do you feel about Lee Gandhi winning the Oscar? Like when you say Lee Gandhi's balls.
Dude, Bergman was a fan of how one might say Hollywood shitters.
So true.
Dude,
Yeah,
Was he
Bergman,
really?
All wise men
Bergman
are.
really liked Nolan.
He really like, dude. Guess what?
You really like
Christopher
Nolan?
Nolan. Guess what?
Really?
Christopher Nolan's next movie is. It's called
It's a
Oppenheimer.
Bergman remake.
I
It's
know.
about nukes.
Yeah.
Of course.
It's got a big cast, as always, just a star-studded
Star-studded
ensemble.
Dude, Nolan
if
is
I could talk
actually
to
so
Bergman,
sick.
You know that Reddit post where it's like someone about like my mom is dead, my dad is dead, my wife has left me, like I'm thinking about killing myself. Like why shouldn't I do it? And the top one is like, think of all the Marvel movies you're not gonna get to see and like all this like stuff. Anyway, that's what I would tell Bergman. I would just show him all the cool
His
movies
things-
he hasn't got to watch.
Yeah.
But John is right.
Yeah,
Is
you
this
just-
mug
he
Kino?
was a big shitter appreciator. As all
Steven
as
showing us a
all,
mug with a leaf on
all
it.
cinema fans should be.
Mm-hmm.
This mug is Kino.
Have we all seen No Way Home? Is it time to talk about it?
I haven't seen it, and I probably won't see it.
Dude, I think 4 of the 5 people in here have seen No Way Home. That's insane.
Yeah.
That's too
Wait,
many.
what? Only 3 have seen it.
Yeah, I haven't seen it.
Oh, I thought I sworn
Yeah,
John
it's just,
saw it.
John fist bump.
I also could have sworn.
Dude,
Fist bump,
I'm
John.
did I
You
dream
dreamed
it?
that because I never saw it.
You're facing the opposite directions.
Well, for me, it's this way. Just
Well, that's
hold your
wrong.
arm out. Just hold
Dude,
your
I
arm
have
out.
you guys in
for
the
me.
vertical stack right now.
Just hold
Me?
your arm out, bro.
Dude,
please.
That's
you're
yeah. There you go. I'm hitting you
Wait,
on
hold
my
on.
screen. Oh yeah.
You guys just were facing the same direction
Here,
in
wait.
my screen. Anyway,
All right.
Here, wait. Do that one more
For
time,
the
Steven.
Christmas
Hold up your fist.
special, should we talk about our Christmases?
holy true. We haven't even said Merry Christmas one time on
Oh
this
my-
pod.
Merry
Merry Christmas,
Christmas,
Merry Christmas, Merry Christmas, Merry
Merry
Christmas,
Christmas,
Merry
Merry
Christmas. I was the first one.
Dude, did anybody? I didn't. Nobody gave a good response to this question, so I'm gonna bring
Okay.
it up now. Which is that? Is there any 2021 films that you thought were good?
I don't think I've seen a 2021 film other than Spider-Man.
I saw
2021?
several. I just barely saw Licorice Pizza, and I
gonna
thought it was
Google
pretty good.
Yeah,
Thought it
Licorice
was good, and I liked
Pizza.
it.
Movies
Um,
of 2021.
So they don't make
Hold
good
on.
movies anymore. Everyone knows.
I saw House of Gucci.
think I
That
lit-
was phenomenal. No, just kidding.
Whoa.
House of Gucci was.
Slow down
was-
there.
It was literally fine.
It was fine.
It was
I
literally
thought
fine.
it was pretty dang bad. I
Oh, really? I thought it was like.
You thought it was
Yeah, I
bad?
really
I would
didn't
give it
like
like,
it.
dude. I thought the soundtrack was terrible. Did you feel
Yeah,
that the soundtrack was
the
atrocious?
soundtrack was bad. It was also the whole thing was so depressing too. Like it was so
This guy watches Bergman's. He's saying House of Gucci's
yeah more
depressing.
no it's
Bergman is not depressing.
yeah it's way more
Look,
so
So
empty.
fucking wrong.
It definitely look. House of Gucci was obviously not a great film. It was literally the definition of fine. Like I'm not pissed I saw it. I'm not pissed I spent the money. It's whatever.
I want it on
And
the
Ridley
record.
Scott directed it. Ridley Scott's kind of funny just as a character in Hollywood.
Yeah.
Who?
Ridley Scott.
I recently watched his movie, Body of Lies,
the
with
Oh, okay.
DiCaprio, and it's like a CIA flick. Pretty bad.
Wait we like
yeah,
we
Ridley
like
Scott's
Dune,
made some
right?
terrible movies. Dune was
Oh
good.
yeah,
Yeah.
saw Dune.
I enjoyed
Dune
Dune.
was alright.
It actually is probably the best movie of like that I've seen that came out in 2021.
Well, John's gonna.
Yeah,
John will
Dune
say
was-
Licorice Pizza, and I want it on the record that
Well, it's not fair. I mean, I haven't seen
I want
it.
it on the record that No Way Home, I actually was really disappointed, and that's coming from someone who has seen every Spider-Man and every Avengers film, and doesn't like most of them.
You've
but
seen
still
every Avengers
appreciates
film?
them. Yes, I'm an Avengers appreciator.
insane.
I'm a shitter appreciator because I'm literally Bergman, literally me. Thank you, Dad. But
No, you haven't
Dude,
seen all of
yeah,
them.
there's
You've probably
so many-
seen, like,
did you
scenes
watch
No,
of
I've seen-
WandaVision?
I've seen-
a few of them
I've seen
you've
all of
only
them
seen, like,
start to
15 scenes
finish.
from.
I've seen all of them start to finish, and No Way
Oh
Home
my god.
is the biggest Marvel disappointment.
I don't
Dude,
know.
I mean, it was. Well, we're talking about. This is the Fanny and Alexander.
Yeah, this is we went from
Well, this is
we
the-
went
no, this
from
is our end.
This is
This is our
above
end
all
of
the
the.
Christmas
This is our end of the
specials.
year. This
Listen,
is the end of the year episode. This is the end
I
of the year
didn't. Okay, I didn't have any intention of seeing it, but like you could. Everyone could have expected that it was going to be just like a nostalgia circle jerk. Kind of.
Dude, you're spoiling.
You got what you were getting what you expect.
I got worse than what I
We
expected.
saw. Some of us saw old.
Yeah,
The,
old.
Oh,
Shyamalan
yeah, that's
film.
2021. I saw
Oh, I
I
haven't
saw
seen old.
60%.
Yeah,
of it.
Steven.
40% of it I
saw-
spent in the bathroom
Yeah.
pushing out Thai
Yeah, it's
food.
not good, dude.
I saw Matrix 4.
I
Oh
watched
my
the
God.
first
Yeah,
part of
it
it.
was terrible.
I watched the first
Yeah.
like 30 minutes of it, and I was just so disinterested. I couldn't take it.
Damn, yeah, I believe that. It looked
Yeah,
really bad.
it was very very bad,
Think about Matrix,
But-
but like
and also
Disney-fied.
extremely boring. Like, and the action isn't fun.
Dude, what did we see, Steven?
I really liked Vendetta.
With that shit with like, oh, the crime happens once a year and now all the
The Purge. The
we
Purge,
saw
and it
was
was
The Purge.
The Purge, the Forever Purge or something
yeah.
like that. That movie
Purge
was
Infinity Wars.
legitimately evil.
Yeah, it's actually evil. Yeah.
So fun to watch with friends, but legitimately just one of the most evil things I've ever seen. And the setting, just the fact that it was a cheap movie day and like it was like masks were finally off in LA County for a week or something like that, and like
Dogs.
the theater was just flooded with like families of people of all ages and just like little children, like
Oh.
just like 5-year-olds,
serious?
4-year-olds watching Yes, watching
Oh
The Purge,
my.
and not only The Purge, it's the most political purge I've ever seen.
It's terrible.
Where there's
Yeah.
where literally America just becomes Nazis. America just, because of The Purge, they literally, unironically, and it's not even a veiled like, oh, it's an analogy for Nazis. They are Nazis.
Yeah, and
killing
they're
and
just
torturing black people in vans. Like,
Yeah.
Well, it's
it's
so
so
true though,
retarded,
because
dude.
the purge, the masks go on, but the real mask of America comes off.
Right.
Don't you know all white people are insanely sadistic and just
Yes.
crazy?
Yeah, if there was a purge, I would immediately start hurting the
Minorities.
furthest from my race.
Dude, those are the only 2021
Did you
films
guys?
I've seen.
Did
That's
nobody
crazy.
see The Green Knight?
No,
No, I did
I'm
not.
cucked. 824 slow burn.
Because I'm not.
This isn't is not 2021, but I watched The Passion of the Christ, and that was pretty good.
Okay,
Oh,
well, we're just
Mel.
gonna talk about
Oh, are we
movies
just
we
gonna-
watched this year.
Now
yeah,
we're just
we
talking
just
about-
opened
how about
up the
this? How about this?
floodgates.
Yeah.
We
No, just
Well,
real quick.
no, the topic was
I
movies
watched
we've
The Game.
watched.
I watched.
How
No,
about-
no, it's not.
2021.
It's
How about-
2021 movies? Because
Yeah.
How about
Shut the hell.
our
Yeah.
favorite movies that we watched
that's a good
in
idea.
2021?
Okay.
How about that?
I mean, I've seen nothing good.
What?
I've seen
With the podcast.
Podcast.
Oh, in the podcast,
Yeah, so
dude.
any
I
of
thought-
any year
Dude,
movies really
now
made or
this
released.
this is a good topic.
Yeah,
Let me
I saw a lot of
yeah. Just
movies.
pull up the scorebook. I mean, I already know my
I'm
answer,
looking at it. I know Stevens.
Dude, I
but it's
log
close. But it's yeah.
I log every
Wait, without looking at the
movie.
scores,
Let's see.
can people say what their favorite was of 2021, and will it be consistent with what their score was?
Hold on.
Yes.
When did LaFeast happen?
The
That
Feast
was
is
2020.
2020.
wait, what was the last?
We watched it on November 26th.
Our first
watched Lefise a year
2021
ago.
was Dogville.
Was what one?
Dogville was our
Dogville.
first
What was
2021.
Yeah,
before? What
Dogville.
was,
No.
what was before
Was
that?
Dogville 2021?
What was before
Yeah.
that?
It's the Seventh Continent, but that was 2020.
Okay, and then what was after Dogville?
Viva Savi,
And what was after that one? Sorry.
Life of Marionettes.
Okay, I found where 2021 started.
Marionette's so awesome.
Because you're looking at the damn. You're looking at the.
I'm
YouTube
looking at
page.
Letterboxd.
John's looking at Letterboxd, which is so
Oh,
cringe.
Letterboxd.
Get your own eclectic, and then you have the dates, baby.
F for fake Kino,
F for fake based.
Amor Kino, Decalogue
F
Kino,
for Fake was really good.
Okay.
Train Spotting Kino.
Train spotting.
All right.
I mean, I'll tell you what. One of my favorite episodes we did was Tenet. Tenet was so fun.
Then it was fun. All right. Best
I
film.
really like Scream.
Oh my gosh. Whoever did.
Wait,
who
No,
Still
sent-
the
the
Pines,
podcast.
Kino.
Oh,
The podcast.
was
was-
alright.
Yeah, the
Someone-
podcast.
Didn't someone send like a Funny Games, Scream, both are big
Yeah.
brain?
Yeah,
I
that was
sent
Brody.
Yeah, so cringe.
Oh, what?
No,
Oh,
well,
the meme
no,
on
I'm the
Instagram.
I
Yeah.
I said
Brody
it.
said it,
during
and
the
I
pod.
sent it
Well, yeah,
because
that
Brody
was an
said it.
ad, but John
No,
sent the meme.
But
Because I
also,
said
but I thought there was something. No, also leading up to the pod, Brody also mentioned, like he said, Hanukkah and
Yeah.
whatever his name is.
That's right. That's right. I
Thornburg
typed
are
it.
literally the same or something.
Yeah.
Like that.
All right. Favorite film I saw for the first time. 'Cause obviously, I watched like Amor this year.
Right. Right.
But my favorite film that I watched for the first time this year was probably Babette's Feast.
The Bits Feast is so good.
I really, really like Babette's Feast.
All right. Cringe alert.
I think my favorite film that I don't know, it's hard to pick just one, but ones that I saw for the first time this year, because we like covered some of the
Yeah.
podcasts I already seen. But probably Passion of Joan of Arc.
Wow.
Yeah.
It's big.
Yeah, Passion of Joan of Arc is probably one of like the best movies I've ever seen. Like it is crazy. And then if I can give a little shout out for a fun favorite. Okay, not just fun
Yeah,
favorite,
favorite.
also incredible. I just recently watched The Red Shoes, which was crazy awesome. Yeah, we'll draw it at that. I don't know. Lots of other good ones though.
All right, Steven, say it. We all know what you want to say.
Yeah, I know. Mine was Amor, but
Mhm.
special shout out Jacob brought it up. F for Fake gets a special place next to Amor as really awesome.
for fake.
That for
That
Fake is
movie-
sort of underrated,
I
dude.
think it's
Just
so
so fun, so awesome. I'll leave it at that.
Listen,
Amor was
if I had
obvious.
seen F-
Amor was crazy
if I had
though.
seen F for
The
Fake-
experience I had during Amor was crazy.
If I had seen F for Fake
But-
or more for the first time this year,
I'm reading all the descriptions for the episodes.
all right. What's our favorite description?
Having some chuckles.
Thank
Nice.
you. I'm glad.
I'm reading the funny games one. Troy saved a family by choosing not to watch this film, but he killed 3 more by recommending this film to us. Listen as Troy tries to explain what the hell he's talking about. This film is real? Wait, what exactly do you mean by reality? Hold up, you're cutting out.
I just want everyone to know that John, for Christmas, got me Funny Games on Blu-ray and a really nice shirt with Hanukkah's face
That
on
shirt's
it,
good.
where the face is like shrunk down vertically, so it looks really funny, and it says
Yeah.
Hanukkah.
I thought it was
Yeah.
Hankanky. That's how I read it.
Either or.
Well, it's spelled differently than how you read it, but whatever.
It's a very fun and awesome shirt.
In spirit, it says Hankanki as well as Hanankanki.
Anchaganka Donka.
Guys, I can't believe we spent this
Uh,
much time not talking about Fanny Alexander when it's a 5-hour movie.
It's 5.5 hours long, and
We gotta recharge.
Most of us watched it like 2 weeks ago.
Yeah, very true.
And it's like
Dude,
almost
I feel-
too much
dude,
to
I
talk
feel
about.
like-
That's why we need more scene by scene commentary episodes.
I wish
That's
I
why
actually
we should
watched
have
it.
done one episode
No.
per
Actually,
episode.
I mean-
then it would have taken a whole year.
No.
Well, listen, this is the thing. Is I
That's
want
right.
Every
to I wanted to
episode
watch
needs to be
I wanted to
scheduled
watch it as a short amount of time, but the talking about it could have been like, all right, I want to watch the full thing, has nothing to do with the podcast. Then later we're going to do an episode by episode thing and I watch the episodes before each thing. That would make sense.
Well, you'll be happy to hear that 2022 podcast schedule has already been set up for the whole year.
Yeah.
It's
It's just going to be 10 episodes.
It's on our
Dude!
Patreon.
Decalogue.
We are watching Dune.
It's on our
Decalogue,
Patreon.
Decalogue.
Yeah.
Episode per episode.
Dunkalog.
Dunkalogue.
Dick log.
Dunk log.
Just so you know, Kubrick says the only masterpiece he's ever seen is Decalogue.
Look, I want to point out. I want to
What the
look. I want
fuck, dude? Directors have
Or
such funny takes.
we should start off 2022 with just,
Vinterberg.
you know,
with a bang.
with the
with
celebration.
a meme. We
Terrorist.
should do 2001.
Oh
2001.
my god,
2001's Kubrick's only good film.
God, I do not like that film.
dude! Eyes Wide Shut's really cool.
Brody, you need to
That's
stop
why Shut is cool.
counter-signaling.
2001's
It's a
awesome.
good film, okay?
It is, though.
2001's so good.
Huh?
I haven't even
Oh,
seen
really?
2001.
That's,
Dude,
that's pretty impressive.
it's sick.
That's awesome.
Dude,
I've not
fine.
seen 2001. I have not seen The Shining. I have not seen Eyes Wide Shut. I have not seen.
I've seen
Is there
almost
Full
no
Metal Jacket?
Kubrick besides 2001.
I've seen Full Metal Jacket.
You've
If
only
we do
seen
not
what?
get another,
I've seen Full Metal Jacket.
All right, Barry Lyndon, underrated and overrated.
if we do not,
Look, I can look if we watch
I've seen half of Clockwork Orange. Haven't watched
if we
the second
do
half yet.
2001 if we do 2001, I can legally lend you a physical 4K copy of it digitally.
I can
digitally, you will
legally
lend
do
you
the
one.
same thing.
You can what?
Why wouldn't I just illegally
I'm
download
gonna,
it
Guys.
I'm
online?
gonna pay a movie
Guys,
theater.
guys,
I'm
stop,
gonna pay a
guys.
movie theater $800 to screen 2001
He thinks it only
in
costs
IMAX.
$100.
Dude, I've got these melatonin
The
The
gummies
first
on my
movie I
desk.
got from my Blu-ray system was
if we do
2001
if we do
Space
not
Odyssey.
get if we do not get another professor on in the entire year of 2022, I am canceling this podcast.
I actually would care less about professors and more just like general like
Experts.
obviously we should get it'd be fun to do guests, but just like
We got to get Brett on here.
dude, yeah, that'd be cool. And then also just like also more Tony.
Dude,
obviously
I know,
more
we need
We need
Tony.
to get
Tony.
directors on here. We need
We need
Trier.
Tony.
Dude, yeah, yeah, that'd be crazy.
we need the
Directors-
perspective
or just like
of a
people
man.
who write like columns and blogs and like seem actually like super based
Yeah,
and
just
cool
experts.
and like up to snuff. Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
good- we
Well,
need-
they don't even have to be like
good-
acclaimed experts.
Yeah.
Just people who seem chill.
Yeah, just chill, folks.
Just chill. You know, weed
See-
smokers.
Yeah, seems
I
easy
love
enough.
it, smokers.
Yeah, we just haven't done it.
We just need to get some.
Yeah.
I mean,
quizzes.
we've probably written 2 emails.
there is a
maybe even one
perspective.
email.
We've only
And
written
it's
one,
been-
and we got.
Listen, there's a prospective professor. My girlfriend's French teacher wrote their master's thesis on 3 colors blue.
Oh, oui. That's
Yeah,
literally
yeah,
it.
that's what.
Oui,
Yeah,
oui.
that's all I'd seen.
But that's
Color blue.
and she's like friends with her professor, so that could happen.
Are you
We
sure
can
she
make
didn't
that
get a
happen.
master's at
Yeah,
She's
that'd be
got
cool.
she's got leverage.
That'd be
Yeah.
cool.
Yeah, I agree. We need to email more
Dude.
directors. I think we need to
Oh.
get Trier on for House of Jack built because that'll obviously.
I think we
So we
should
can
all
have
get
a panic
pod with our
attack on
parents
air.
on. We should all get a we should
Yeah.
all get a pod with one of our parents on.
Yeah,
Worst-
that's a
worst
good
idea ever.
That is a really
Dude,
That
that
would
would be
not happen.
so awesome, dude.
for all of our
You're
grandparents.
telling me that wouldn't be awesome? Is that what you're saying?
Dude, that would.
we need to each have an episode.
Dude, that podcast would go crazy,
We need to
dude.
each have-
That'd be so awesome to have in the bank
We
forever.
need to have an episode where we all have a nephew on, and they need to be under 10.
That'd be pretty cool too. Just like a younger relative.
Yeah.
That'd be so
My
fun.
nephew's about to have a kid.
What does that say
I could-
about you?
I have a
John?
nephew
I
who's
could bring my
also
great nephew on.
having
For
a
the-
kid.
Oh yeah, for the folks at home, John is 37 and single with no prospects.
We're all actually in our late.
Yeah, for the folks at home, I'm diabetic.
And I,
For the folks at
I have
home,
2 failed marriages.
Before I say anything else, I want to disavow any of the actions of Harvey Weinstein and any.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We
And
can
our
actually.
hearts go
Our
out to
hearts
Gabby
go out
Petito.
to
Our
Gabby
hearts
go out to
Petito
Petito.
and
I also
Weinstein's
disavow Harvey
victims.
Weinstein.
We could actually say anything we want right now because our
Why are we
retention rate-
disavowing Harvey Weinstein?
Our retention rate
we
for
need
this.
to-
Jacob, because we
Yeah, wait.
do
Why?
that.
Why wouldn't
Like,
you?
it's just
Are you
good-
saying you
Wait,
don't?
wait, wait,
don't?
do
Are you,
not.
wait,
It's like
Jacob. Are you?
disavow
Are you
Harvey
saying that
Weinstein.
you do not disavow the actions of Harvey Weinstein?
That's not what I'm saying.
I think you
Harvey
just
right
did.
now.
Look, we can all speak very candidly about
Okay,
what we're
okay,
right
so
now
it
It
because
just seemed
nobody
very.
is
It
listening.
just seemed very
So the record
spontaneous.
reflects
We have to-
John, Troy, and Steven have disavowed the acts of Harvey Weinstein, and Jacob is neither avowing or disavowing.
Curious.
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 And in fact, he's questioning why one would
Yeah, he doesn't
disavow
even
Harvey
understand.
Weinstein. He's raising a point about the whole thing.
Yeah, he wants to question the whole.
You
process.
know, I just don't think, it's just not, it's, it's
son of
not
a
settled,
bitch.
you
Listen,
did. You
it's settled
sickened me.
science.
I'm waiting for
science.
more information.
I'm waiting for more. I'm waiting for.
Dr. Fauci disavowed
Now
Harvey
the dust is
Weinstein.
settled.
No,
Now that the dust is settled, how many minutes is getting cut right now? Is
I-
the last 40
No,
minutes of
nothing's
us
getting cut.
talking getting cut?
No, we're gonna
nothing,
keep
barely,
all
nothing's
this,
getting
probably.
cut.
That's
Are-
so okay. I was under the impression that we were just kind of shooting the shit.
We
No,
are,
this is
but
fucking
nothing
sick,
gets
dude.
cut.
All right, in that case, I wholeheartedly disavow.
There we go.
Okay,
there we go, there we go.
Welcome
Like
to the
I-
club.
dude, like
and I
I-
also disavow
I don't
anything
know,
I've said
look,
in the past.
I don't know how to.
Yeah.
I don't know
saying
how.
40 minutes.
I don't know how many
that-
times
And
I
the
can-
thing where I was dissing, that was all a joke, and it was just to like make
Yeah.
Jacob feel better. Who didn't
Yeah,
even
I'm
feel
sorry.
that
I'm
way.
sorry that I even
Everything-
mentioned Harvey Weinstein.
yeah.
Like honestly, we should probably talk about him less because it's kind of like meta
Look,
platforming
For all
him or
folks at
something.
home,
Listen, also
yeah,
that
for all the
part-
folks at home, I
part
want to
where-
disavow Harvey
part where
Weinstein, all the
Jacob
actions
said,
he was in, and getting his insane amounts of pussy.
That part where Jacob said that women are incapable of serious thought, I disavow.
I disavow
Every-
that thought.
Everything that I've said during this podcast, which would make me look bad.
Jacob is opening and closing a pocket knife right now.
That-
Jacob's is threatening
Everything I've
us with
said
the
during this episode that
pocket
would make
knife
me
as
look
he.
bad, I disavow, but everything I've said during this podcast that makes me look good, I avow.
So true and based, and that's the meaning of Christmas.
That's what Christmas is all about.
Nice.
You don't want to eat these so bad.
It's
It's so hard not to. They look so tasty.
Dude,
We're now
are we-
doing show and tell.
Are we doing dude? Are we breaking records here? I think this is our longest.
This
length?
is our longest
For length.
podcast, and
I'll tell you
we
what's
also
longer.
only talk about the
I'll
movies
tell you
we
what's
watch now.
longer.
Dude, what happened to Dogville? Dude, we
Yeah.
talked about Dogville. We had to like stop talking about Dogville because we're like, okay, we gotta quit
Yeah, it's 2 hours. We gotta stop.
Dogville,
with
an
Jacob.
analyst's dream, Oh yeah, with
Steven
Jacob.
wasn't on
yeah.
it either, dude.
I was not on
Okay,
it.
yeah, with Jacob and
Well,
Steven and Tony.
yeah.
But no one
and
thinks it's your kind of
everyone's
film.
moms.
We know it's Jacob's kind of film.
And Brett and everyone's moms.
Everyone's moms.
And our nephews. And we
I-
have a 10-person call. we all
Yeah.
talk about.
I am going to have to go outside at some point and our drain. I have to, dude.
You have to drain the swamp.
Hold on.
Are you about to
Hold
drain
on.
the swamp?
Look, this podcast is full free association mode. I'm switching to phone for a moment while in my room so I can show you this river.
Wait, but okay,
This
but
lake.
the recording
You're
is just
But your
recording it.
audio is on.
The audio will be terrible.
Well, no,
No,
I'm
the
saying
audio
the
won't
recording-
exist.
But for the
We'll tell the audience what
What do you
Steven
mean?
says.
Are you
You're,
gonna?
you're
I'm gonna
recording
be
on
in my
Audacity,
room.
right?
No, you'll hear it. It'll be picked up by Audacity. It'll just sound like crap.
How far are you
You're
going?
gonna
Okay.
yell from outside? What?
No, I think he's just going to his window.
Dude, this
Yeah, go
sucks.
to my window. I'm right here.
Listen,
This is
viewers at
fucking-
home, shout out to Czech Republic. You guys continue to keep watching. Also, we hit 200,000 views on our what's
Because
it
our
called?
analysis is so good.
Yeah, groundbreaking.
Groundbreaking analysis.
Actually, we received 200,000 views and 70,000 citations.
Yeah, and a couple
A
misdemeanors.
couple felonies.
I meant to say this a long
1,000
time ago, but we've
misdemeanors.
also hit over 1,000. We've also hit over 1,000 downloads.
That's pretty epic.
Let's
Yo,
go.
wait, what was that movie? The one, the incest movie. Oh, Murmur of the Heart.
Murmur of the Heart.
Yeah,
Murmur
we
of the
received 200,000 views on Murmur of the Heart. Curious where those views come from and the content of the film. But
Yeah,
we do not
don't
have any
know
data
our
about
main
what
audience.
countries
Listen, yeah.
are watching.
and we have no idea why this could have happened and or who the kind
Yeah.
of people who are watching
listen, the data is misleading as to what
Have you guys
countries
seen
are
this? Just
it.
ignore
Yeah, I'm looking. Yeah. So we are. Hold on. We are now acknowledging that Stephen has a gigantic. It's almost like a swimming pool.
Wait, I don't see it.
Yeah, it's pretty crazy.
It's in the
All
bag,
of
That hasn't
what you
loaded
think
for
is
me
dirt
yet.
is a lake.
and it's
Breaking
like
news.
it's like Olympic sized and pretty gigantic, and it's not draining properly.
No.
Yeah, what you think
I
to
can't
be
even see
dirt
it yet.
was all water.
Yeah, no, you could tell. It's pretty insane.
All right, I'm switching back. Audio quality good.
Anyway, viewers, tell us what you want. If anyone has access to Lars von Trier or Hanukkah, please help us get them on the pod.
And
Or get
if
us
you,
on Joe Rogan.
no.
Leave a comment in the doobly doo.
If any of you are rich, please fly us out to Dubai, to wherever you have your money, and let's just hang out for an
Just so you know, we
evening.
read all your comments. We actually
We read
shout
any
out to
comment.
The one person who commented disagreeing with our funny games analysis. This person was
Right.
Woefully unprepared to contend with us, and but I did them a favor.
Yeah.
He backed down like a little
Yeah.
fuck.
and linked it to them, and they didn't respond. They were so blown out. But they were literally. I just want to say we respect our viewership and all that stuff. But this guy was saying that the 2007 Funny Games was better than the 97 Funny Games, and so
Yeah, that was really weird. I feel like he just
even
has
though
a
this
fetish
person was
for
clearly
Naomi
not
Watts.
worth contending
I
with,
do.
we still responded.
Wait, what did we say?
Because
What did we
because
say?
we because
Well,
we
just
love
said
our
that you're an
audience.
idiot, and we linked them a
Well,
an authoritative article that disagrees with them, and so that's their
well, yeah, and then I also gave a response in jest,
And then Brody backpedaled.
calling Troy stupid.
This
Yeah,
is so
Troy took
accurate.
Brody took the side of
And I
anti-Troy
responded
in a
Yeah.
very
I signed my name at the end of the
uncomrade-like
response, but in the
manner.
response, I refer to myself in the third person.
That is weird.
Well, I'm just a quirky artist.
Oh,
That's something like really smart people do. Is they talk all weird and incomprehensible.
all right. So damn, dude, is it scores time?
Well, we got
Wait,
this-
I think
your
it's- I think
your
we're- I
link
think
I
it's
guess
just,
your
uh,
link
scores
was
time.
a WeTransfer link.
yeah, I literally sent him a PDF.
Did he get it?
Not that I'm aware of.
Why
don't
would
know.
you link?
There's
Why would you
no
link a
way.
WeTran? Why wouldn't you do something permanent so he could actually see it?
Because I couldn't think of a way to send him a PDF.
Oh my!
How would you do it?
Up
I'm not
Google
gonna link
Drive.
it.
You put it on your website as a
there's
download.
A lot of
and
different
link it
ways.
to
I
your
don't know how to
website.
do. Do you know how to do that, Mister?
So what is Waigu?
What is waifu?
No.
Yes.
Yeah.
You upload the file to
I
your
wasn't
website
gonna- I
and
wasn't
create
gonna
an
give him a
href
Google
link.
Drive, so I didn't know what to do.
You-
Listen,
Have you ever
transfers
explained
are
like
pretty-
a
By the
term
way,
like a
by the
waifu
way,
to a- of your
remove
mom?
Brody, remove me
No.
saying from
Well, just take note.
You
take
have to
note
give
of the
me.
correct-
You have to give me time.
Yeah.
You have to give it. If you want anything removed, I'm
250
not-
No,
on my
write it down.
recording.
You're gonna write it down. And you're gonna
50
give.
minutes,
You're gonna give me a message.
20
Okay.
seconds.
You're gonna write it
All of
down,
this
and
right
you're gonna
now-
give it to me.
I
in a
will
message.
remember the number.
Whatever,
okay? It's
dude.
not hard to remember the number.
Yeah, but I have a hard time remembering when to do
All
it.
right, guys, this is
Better
we
write
gotta
it
we
down.
gotta
How about this,
reel it.
bro?
We gotta bring it back in.
Oh,
We
man.
gotta finish laying the groundwork. We gotta.
Like, this is not Christmas-like.
Yes,
No,
it
this
is.
is
It's actually
it's
extremely
very
Christmas.
That's the worst. That's the worst propaganda I've ever heard. That Christmas is dysfunction. You guys make me sick. Christmas is family, and family is not synonymous with dysfunction. That's just something they've told you, and you believe.
Listen, Steven, your denial of dysfunction is
Guys,
dysfunctional.
I gotta go.
Look, close the pocket knife before I fucking
No.
kill you, bro. I will kill you.
We need to get scores.
It's scores time.
I know.
I like
I'm
just
saying,
holding
but
up
we
a
gotta
knife.
we
John
gotta
has
do
to go.
scores because I gotta.
All right,
John has to go.
reasonable. Let's
Alright.
go.
All right, we're gonna keep recording, but John will go.
I'm out of here too.
John.
Okay, our scores are gonna go in the Discord order, so
So I go
nobody's
first?
confused.
Oh, wait, was Steven?
Yes.
What?
Steven at the end. Okay, John.
Can we give scores by episode?
No, the
What?
whole
No,
thing.
just do the.
Okay, yeah,
do
So
John,
Fanny and
me,
Alexander,
Brody,
I love this
Jacob,
movie
Troy.
so much. So many things to talk about. Clearly, but no, I mean, I as soon as I watched it, I just kept wanting to rewatch it, and just frustrated that I don't know. I don't know. I wanted to watch it again, but it's quite the task to dig out the time to watch it twice within a few weeks. Because I loved it so much though. But yeah. Either way, I'm giving it a 5.
Whoa.
That's sick. That's
Hell
sick.
yeah, John.
That's
That's
sick.
That
crazy.
is
You understood the
actually
film the most.
insane.
Holy smokes! You should have went last with that truth bomb. Now all of us are gonna pale in comparison. to how
No,
fucking
because
awesome you
I
are.
Well,
give it a.
Just for the record, we all know what our subreddit talks about. They all talk about how they only look at my score because the other scores are so unreliable.
Dude. Oh my! I just realized having a subreddit would be so funny for
Can we
this.
make
have
one?
one.
I'm
Just
gonna make.
one,
I'm
right?
gonna make one in jest.
I'm gonna
But
be
like,
so
kind of hope
racist.
that people actually go on it. Maybe.
We need to just start plugging the
Yeah,
podcast
maybe,
on
and I'll be
4chan
the
every
mod.
day.
Yeah. When do we start?
I
playing
won't-
that-
4chan?
We would
It's probably
get.
the worst.
It would. We would.
Yeah.
We would have the most toxic audience. It would suck so bad.
It'd be
Uh-huh,
so
we have the
based.
most truthful audience, and it would be awesome.
Okay.
Yeah.
Next score.
Score, Steven.
You guys
My
can't hear
score
or see
for
Steven, right?
I
What?
hear and see
We
Steven.
can both hear
I
and see
can't hear
it.
or see him at all.
maybe you should
But whatever.
maybe you should
if
leave the
can
call and come back.
hear him, then
Yeah.
it's
So
okay.
Troy, maybe. Yeah. Don't worry about it.
Maybe leave the call and come back, Troy.
I'll just be quiet and learn from context clues when he's done.
Okay, Steven, go ahead.
That is so true, Steven.
So I'm going to give this fantastic one-dimensional flick a
Wait, a
4.0.
fantastic one-dimensional flick.
John. It's not your turn to talk. Okay, these are my final takes.
Is it my go?
Yeah, it's your go.
Dude, this
is
it's a
film
great
was
film.
Yeah,
It's
that was
4.0.
it.
Yes,
What do you
he's not.
give it?
Dude, this film was
A 4.
You give it a 4?
4.0. Yeah. Dude, this film was fucking so sick, so awesome, so comfy, so wholesome, and I loved it so much. Apparently, I thought I was gonna love it the most, and until fucking John fucking owned me, fucking 4.9.
Whoa.
What
Uh,
the?
That's the Chungus Cannery.
Damn.
I
What
wish
does this film have to do to get a 5 around here?
dude, I fucking,
He watched by me.
I thought I was gonna be the big winner,
Well, John's literally out of his
But-
mind for giving it a 5.
Oh,
but yeah, big 4.9 coming from me.
Roger.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
You're writing these down, right, Brody? Because I'm not.
All right. This movie, it's about a lot of things. It's pretty long. You got to really be in it for the long haul. It's about Christmas. It's about family. It's about truth. It's about lies. It's about God. It's about Satan. It's about nothing. It's about everything. It's about art. It's about matriarchy, patriarchy. It's about,
Mommy, Daddy?
But what's it
It's
really
about-
about?
But what it's actually about is, who knows. I was gonna give this a score, but then Steven gave his score, and that made me rethink my score.
scores are
I think I'm gonna give this a 4.2.
Can I know what your score was supposed to be before that?
Before you got
No.
hypnotized.
It was his
Well, can you
previous
say-
score. Previous score was he DM'd me 3.9.
Okay, thank you for exposing
That
him.
actually is true. That is true.
Okay, so
On the enjoyment scale. So
listen, Fanny Alexander,
Yeah.
so cozy, especially episode 1. So cozy Christmas, so good, so relatable family vibes. So much love. This film has so much love to give to you. If only you can open your heart to receive it. I'm gonna give this, and let me just say that I had this score in mind, and listening to other people's scores had absolutely no effect. I'm gonna give it a
Same.
4.0. It's a must-watch, but you know,
Let's fucking go.
Dude, you guys did
Honestly,
not get this film.
Look,
Let's fucking
John and I
go.
got it.
Troy
Enjoy,
thinks
bro.
John
I'm
and I got
insane
it.
for giving it a
Yo, so-
5. I was actually,
Yeah,
I was
I just wanna know,
expecting,
John
I
is
was fully
out of his
expecting
gourd.
5s all around. Not gonna lie.
Oh, that's great.
I
John's
bet
literally-
Bergman would give this a 5.
John is off
I bet
his
Bergman
meds
thinks it's the
and
best.
off his rocker, giving this film.
Troy,
yeah, there was some like discreet messaging, like there's some discreet sleeper cell
There's
messaging
definitely
that was for John.
Yeah.
look, once
Yeah,
you
John,
look,
like
let's
the
be
QR
look,
code
let's
on
be
the
honest.
his
black,
forehead.
and then your social security number appeared on the screen.
Let's be honest. Look, once you
Your full
pass
name?
a certain threshold, it becomes basically,
Awful.
I don't know. I find
So not
I
true. How
find
dare you?
what?
Are you about to undermine the holy score?
No, I'm about to undermine the, like I'm saying where 5 rests. Like what's past that is like, I mean, it's all 5.
That's
You
why
know what I'm
it's-
saying?
That's why you're out of your mind for
The
giving
play-
it 5.
The place beyond the
place beyond
5.
5. Wait,
Uh,
what? Explain why
so
am I
he-
out of my
I
mind?
mean-
Like,
Bro, you're telling me
Listen.
that this film. Listen, I applaud you. If it's a 5 for you, it's a 5 for you, and that's awesome. But I'm thinking of other 5s you've given. You know, I'm thinking about Wings of Desire.
Another
I'm
5?
thinking about Amore. I'm thinking about Piano Teacher.
I gave this a higher score than Wings of Desire, and I stand by that.
Wait, John gave Wings of
I
Desire.
gave Wings of Desire a
Wait,
5.
John gave Wings of Desire a 5.
I stand by that.
Yeah.
too.
But you
I
didn't
gave
give
a more. I give a
five.
more like a 4.8 or something like that, or that's what I'd rate it now. I mean, if I were to say,
Yeah.
yeah, a
Off the
more.
dome.
Man, your
Off the
score is your
dome.
score, but just remember and realize that no one takes anyone's score seriously except for mine. Mine are going to go down in the books as being very reliable for viewers.
all right, shut the hell up.
Here, here. Cheers.
Is Steven inside?
Well, John gave him more, a 4.9.
Oh, there you go.
By the way. Officially.
I just want it on the record that I still have no signal from Steven. Is he like at his computer?
Dude, fucking leave and rejoin the call.
Like, is his-
Troy has to be.
He's
Trolling,
literally
dude.
here.
Like that's.
I'm not trolling.
feel like
You
you're
could,
trolling.
I'm
yeah,
not trolling.
that, he
Is
probably
Steven
is.
getting
Yeah,
recorded?
he probably is.
Dude, fuck you.
Who's Steven, Troy?
Is
You
Steven-
keep talking
is
about
Steven
Steven.
in the room right now?
Who is
Right now?
Steven?
Is he in the
No,
room
seriously,
with you right now?
is he at his computer?
Steven's laughing
This
at you.
is so ridiculous,
Whatever.
Troy.
Steven
You are
thinks
so
you're
funny.
Wait, Troy, what are your just so we can kneel in awe at the perfectness of your scores. What have you given a 5?
I've given 5s to, I think, Wings of Desire, Cries and Whispers, Amore, Piano Teacher.
Officially
Not sure.
on the pod, you did not give him more a 5.
But I give it a 4.9.
4.7. You had a worse score than John.
Because
John
Troy's
wins.
fucking stupid, bro.
So
Listen, well, the scores are an
Troy's a
illusion.
no,
fucking
of
idiot.
course
the
the
scores are.
no, scores are
Scores are
extremely
fake.
fake and evil.
No, scores are
Yeah,
extremely
scores-
real.
That's true.
Troy's scores
scores-
are fake and evil
scores
because
suck.
they claim to be something that they can never
Boom,
be.
boom.
Exactly.
If
Mugged.
anything, we should each, instead of a
Mugged.
score, we should each have.
Listen,
Everyone
you guys
has
are
to
literally
say that Troy's getting
cringe
mocked
like
by me
science
right now.
realists.
Yeah.
Please.
And you're
if
like,
anything,
oh,
what?
the electron
No.
Uh,
What? You're the one who's being the
Troy's
science
no.
realist by ascribing a
I'm
quantitative
the science-
value
I'm
to
the
something which is
science-
inherently
I'm the
qualitative.
science as
If this
inductive
were real,
process.
instead of scores, we would each submit an essay instead of a score, and
No,
that would
so
be what
cringe.
was
you guys,
listed
you guys,
in the description.
You guys, when faced with someone saying
You guys,
electrons
you guys,
literally exist,
you
you guys are like, nuh-uh, like sense experience, blah 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 blah, and I'm the based Giga Chad, science is inductive, and thus my scores obviously bear no relationship to the reality of these films, but they serve as useful tools for the audience to, they're strongly indicative of the future experience of the audience. Based.
Wait, that's absolutely
Yeah,
the case
wait,
for
what are you-
everyone.
wait, why are
It's
you-
literally fake but useful?
How is that not the case? And how is that not conveyed by?
And
from a
also,
4 to
yeah,
a
yeah,
5?
let's talk
You guys,
about.
you
It's
guys,
like
you
still
guys
so
stop. You
consistent.
guys stop at science is literally fake, and I say science is literally fake but
I-
useful.
I don't.
Nobody said
hold
that.
On.
Nobody's.
Yeah, you guys are
committing
like,
this
scores
conver-
are literally
this
fake.
conversation
You're
No,
like, scores are
someone
literally
please,
fake,
Troy,
scores
Troy,
are
can you hear me?
literally
I just want to be
cannot
heard.
reflect
He's being
any
intellectually
nature.
dishonest. Someone
Steven,
please say.
Steven
it.
is
I say,
trying.
yes, of
Steven is
course.
saying
Steven
a lot of
says-
things right now,
Steven
and
says-
Troy can't hear him.
Yeah, I can't hear.
So
Steven.
Steven, say it, and then I'll repeat it verbatim so that the audience can hear it
Troy,
twice.
yes, Troy, you're being
You're being
intellectually dishonest.
Troy.
This sucks so bad.
Am I also?
This sucks
moving,
so
am I
fucking
moving
bad.
The goalposts? Am I pivoting?
Why hasn't Steven tried leaving and rejoining?
Because
I
Is Steven
did.
at his computer? Or is he still
Yeah.
outside in the fucking pond?
I did leave and rejoin.
Why isn't Troy trying
and rejoin
leaving
the
and
call.
rejoining?
A very good question.
Okay, now that we've got him, I'm gonna block him from the server. Oh,
Now that he's not
Now
here.
that he's not here.
Oh, I hear Steven.
yeah,
There he
there
is.
you go.
Yeah,
Dude,
it's the suggestion I gave the first
yeah,
moment.
like fucking 20 minutes ago.
Whoa, it's
Yeah.
almost as if I
Sucks so
couldn't hear
bad.
Steven.
No, we all said
Everyone,
it.
I'm sure someone
No,
repeated
no one
it.
said that, and as soon as they did, I did it because I know how to heed good advice.
Just like how
Alright, well
Troy
then,
knows that the
well, I
audience
guess
will
it'll be
heed
in the
his
VOD.
scores.
Yeah, just so I know the audience, my scores will go down in history as strongly indicative of the
Troy,
future experience.
how are ours not? How have I been inconsistent?
Okay.
Who's even been inconsistent?
Well, no,
here?
I'm the best.
Yeah. Okay.
All
This is where
It- look,
this is where the real
Here, I'll tell
contention.
you
No,
what,
yeah.
It's just obviously
No,
a joke.
yeah, the
I
meme-
mean,
no,
it's
no,
just it's just a nothing statement.
The
Troy
nothing-
saying
no, no,
nothing.
the
I mean,
nothing-
just wipe away the last 10 minutes.
The
I
nothing
guess.
statement is that my scores in particular will go down as famous. But the truth is, I'm annoyed whenever John
Is what?
is like,
What's the
"Oh,
truth? What's the
scores
truth,
aren't
idiot?
real."
What's the truth? Say it again. Say it with your chest. Say what?
What?
Yeah, I got you, bro.
No, I don't even know what you're asking.
all of this is actually
Say what?
all of this is look,
Scratch
all
that
of this
from
is
the record.
actually
You're gonna want a timestamp on that.
look,
Yeah, that'll be 303:33 for me.
look, all of this is actually futile because our retention rate never actually reaches to this point anyway.
No, but they
So-
they
see
read the number.
They're in the description. Yeah.
Oh yeah, of course. That's what everybody does. They click on the video. They say, "I gotta see the score,"
Yeah.
and then they leave.
That's so true.
like a
Maybe they're
Fantano-
like, well,
it's
do
like
I
a
want to
Fantano
tune
video.
into this episode? I obviously have to watch the film first. Let's check the scores. They read John's score. and they
For everyone
say-
at home, Troy is an extremely unbased person.
Whoa. Listen, everyone's got their own scores, and everyone knows in the future, just like Hufflepuff and Slytherin, there's gonna be different groups where they're like, I'm a John score. Oh, I'm a Jacob score. And there's different schools of thought on who scores.
Shout out to all the Jacob scorers. Stay strong. I know our voice may be small, but our heart is large.
I want to point out that everyone's charts are probably have quite a lot in common. Like within like half a star. Like most films
Yeah,
are.
well, mine are
Like, if
the
you took
mine
the
are
average, it would reflect
mine are the
everybody's
most
pretty-
different.
Brody's are all messed up because he
Mine's-
signals too hard against Hanukkah.
Mine are the most different because of my distaste for Hanukkah.
Yeah.
So mine are the
distaste.
most different.
Well, they're the most true and honest and based. Good job, bro.
Listen,
Thank
all
you,
I
thank
know
you, thank
is
you.
the Troy School of Thought, when talking to the John School of Thought, are going to point to the fact that John doesn't even believe in the validity of his own scores, and at every opportunity, John wants to point out how scores are stupid and have no reflection.
Look,
of
this is not.
reality.
Look, despite the way
wanna
that I've
say-
said it in the
Don't even
past,
d-
this
don't
is
even-
not. This is not entirely accurate of my view on the
You
scores.
cannot engage with Troy's intellectual
Intellectual
dishonesty.
dishonesty.
I wanna
As soon
This
as
say
you come
guy
at me, I'm
is
gonna
flaming
pivot
you
into a
guys.
different
This
dimension.
guy is trolling so hard.
I want to say that this conversation sucks so incredibly bad,
So
and
true,
that the
it
and that
does.
the
And
and
that
that
it's Troy's
the
fault.
podcast should now end.
Yeah.
And it is partially Troy's
I'll
fault.
take the blame.
It's
I can handle
mostly
that.
Troy's
It's
fault.
mostly
I can
Troy's
handle
fault.
that.
Okay, can we leave
It's
now?
actually all my fault.
No, don't be a martyr. You son of a, you just want to be a martyr today.
Yeah.
I hate you.
Can
All right,
we sign
guys.
off?
Merry Christmas.
Yeah.
And a happy
Merry
New
Christmas.
Year.
Yeah,
Merry
Merry
Christmas from
Christmas.
our hearts to all of
you know,
yours.
Yeah, I hope everybody had
Inshallah.
a 2022 podcast is gonna be fun.
Yeah, big things coming for 2022, such as merch.
Yeah,
Merch.
Yeah.
Many scene by scene
Stay-
commentaries.
Yeah.
Stay tuned for merch, scene by scene, big
And we'll-
collaborations
yeah, big
with
collaborations.
people
We're
you
gonna
may
have yeah,
you may recognize
yeah.
their names.
We got Christopher Nolan
Wait,
coming
you're not
up.
supposed to
We've
say
got
that. We're under.
we got
We
sponsors.
can't
Yeah.
say that. We're cutting that
Oh
out.
yeah, sorry.
Dude, we're gonna make our own movie.
About podcasting.
We're getting $1 million budget from a large studio to make our own movie.
Yeah. This podcast is extremely profitable for us.
Yeah, our balance sheet is coming out next year.
Yeah, we gotta find out how much money we made.
It's like 400,000 split between 5 people. So I mean, it's not like the most lucrative, but it's pretty good. It's really good. You guys should all start your own podcast for money. With that, Merry Christmas.
Merry Christmas.
Bye.
Bye, everyone.
Bye.
Christmas. Bye.
No, this is gonna go down as a very good Christmas special.